Hello, everyone. Welcome to Three Quarter Guard Podcast. We are really late because we were trying out some new shit, and we didn't prepare, and we didn't have enough time before this broadcast.
Well, when do we? We never really do that, so yeah.
So we don't really apologize. Fuck you.
Damn.
Well, thank you for being here.
Well, goodness. I guess we can do that too. Be jerks. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Are they just looking at you? I guess they're just looking at you, right? Seems that way.
Well, it should be going to you in a second.
Well, it's not.
Why is it not?
I don't know.
God damn it. What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I'm just here, chilling. As I do. Hi. I didn't even make sure if the camera was good on me or not. We're still live, aren't we?
Yeah, we are live.
Hi. How's it going? Three Quarter Guard here. Doing our thing. Apologies for missing you guys last weekend. This motherfucker got sick. So,
yeah.
He had too much semen in the throat, I guess. So, he couldn't, cough it all out before the show
Yeah, you gotta
started.
clean the pipes sometimes. And I didn't. Sorry.
It's all right.
I gotta get like a snake sometime.
It's all right. It was a Saturday
Get all
night,
that
so
out.
I can't exactly, what you do in your private time is your business, sir. But yeah, we could talk real quick before we get into our topics put in. Oh yeah, if you guys hadn't noticed, we have a little topic bracket now on the side. We're working on some technical stuff right before we came in to give us a little bit of a different look. Still trying new things, still doing this, that, and the third. But before we get into these week's topics, you want to talk real quick? I think we completely forgot about UFC London.
From last week, yeah.
Masvidal. We can at least talk about Masvidal until Masvidal knocking out Darren Till, making noise in the 170 division, the welterweight division, and then getting into an altercation in the back. So technically, Masvidal having winning two fights in one day, giving Leon Edwards the three-piece in the soda. Is that the famous thing everybody's saying now?
Here, let's
Oh, we're
gonna change it on fire. We're gonna
look at that.
little audible.
Look at that. We're gonna be able to do it right now.
Oh, that's the wrong button.
Damn.
Okay, there we go.
Look at that.
All right.
Oh, look
So
at that.
let's
It just
do
popped up right there. See? That's what we were doing. We were working on an easier way to do these kinds of things.
Yeah, so that was... I don't think anybody expected Masvidal to have that kind of show.
I mean, Masvidal, he was like one of those guys.
He's a beast, but...
He's kind of dangerous. Yeah, exactly.
You can't sleep on him.
It's crazy that not too long ago, Darren Till was challenging for that strap against Tyron Woodley. And now all of a sudden, he's getting knocked out at home by... I think, was Masvidal even ranked? If he was ranked, he wasn't top 10. He was like probably on the bottom or something like that.
I mean, that is a good question.
Now I know he's ranked, I think, at number 5, which is really good. But yeah, before I'm pretty sure he wasn't ranked.
Yeah. I mean, we'd be able to see the shit. We'd be able to see the...
Oh, how high?
Jump.
Yeah, how high
they show you
in the
up
rankings. He went up a couple of... Yeah, I think he went up like 6 spots from number 5. So if that is in fact the case, why is
he
Kamaru
went
Usman
by 6. Wow, he was 11.
Yeah, man, he was number 11. He wasn't in the top 10, but he was still in the top 15, number 11. And boy, did his stock shoot up in the welterweight division. That was pretty friggin' awesome. But yeah, like at first he was kind of playing Till's game. Till was keeping the distance. But fucking hey, man, he's got like a 40 fight experience or something like that. He's had like 40 fights. What's his record?
And not even including the ones in the backyards.
There you go. He's got like, oh, goodness, excuse me. He's got plenty of experience in backyard brawls, plenty of experience in the UFC, and in other divisions and stuff, in other organizations and stuff like that. But yeah, man, can't knock a guy.
He is 33-13.
So yeah, that's about like what 40, 46, 40, 50 fights. Almost 50 fights. He's at 46 fights. So holy shit, wow! And like you said, not even counting the backyard brawls. So yeah, man, he's got that fucking experience.
Catch those on YouTube if you want.
That's one thing, dude. When you got experience like that, you can't keep a guy. You can't totally count a guy out when he has that kind of experience. He's just fucking people up, and knocked out a young buck and Darren Till. I'm sure that definitely had a big factor with him just fucking knocking him out. It was a nasty KO too. He fucking hit him, and then his head just banged real hard on that fucking canvas. You heard that? You probably heard his head knocking on the canvas. That was a lot louder than like anything during that barrage. But after that, everybody looking at Jorge Masvidal. He's that new top 10 guy and top 5 guy actually in the welterweight division. The dark horse. Well,
now he's number 5. Yeah.
The dark horse now, if you will, in the welterweight division, and you got a couple of people calling him out now. Leon Edwards.
Well, yeah, he had a little altercation in the back.
Leon Edwards
he was having an interview.
Called him out when he should not have, like a fuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was saying, something else. I'll see you in May or see you in some shit.
See you in July or something like that.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, maybe. And then he started walking closer, and then I guess he was approaching Masvidal. He had his hands up. Masvidal took that as, he was ready to scrap. So
there was a
three piece in the soda.
There was a funny segment that like people were posting up from like one of when Ariel used to be on at a MMA fighting when he used to do his like old podcast, not the one on ESPN, but the older one.
Yeah.
And he had Masvidal on the show, and Masvidal had mentioned that he was like, "Hey man, I got the best sucker punch in the game." It's like, if you approach me and if you don't got your fucking hands up or you're squaring the fuck up to me, man, I'll just fucking give you a quick like hit in the face. He's like, give you a psh, and then I'm fucking out of there. So it was just really funny. I think it was like an interview from like 2 or 3 years ago.
It aged well.
And it aged very well for him, I guess. Yeah. But no, I mean, you see it in the video. Masvidal had his hands in the back of his head, and on his back, approached Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, and literally you saw Leon Edwards put up his fists like towards him, and Masvidal just clack, 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 as they said, 3-piece in the soda, and just swerved the fuck out of there.
And gave him that combo.
Made noise in London. People in London, I guess they like, it was funny because since there wasn't a commission, I think they thought there was going to be problems.
He didn't pursue any legal action.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, and that's what probably saved him. Like Leon Edwards didn't press any charges.
He didn't press any charges.
Because of that, I think it was just like, nah, fuck it. And he was heading home back to fucking Miami the next day on a flight. So while he was on like Ariel's show, he was already like about to get on the plane and all that stuff. But yeah, man, now you got fucking people calling him out left and right. Fucking Conor at one point was like he wanted to fight Masvidal, and Masvidal was like, yeah, I'll fuck you up in Ireland. That would not be a bad fight.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of options for fights, specifically in the welterweight division. That's gotten mixed up, but we'll talk about that in our matchmaking section.
Word. But yeah, man, that was a big weekend for Jorge Masvidal. Shout out to Jorge Masvidal for the big win last week in London.
Yeah, let's jump into UFC Nashville.
Nashville yesterday. Holy shit. Talk about 2 lightweights coming out of nowhere and making noise in the welterweight division. Or as I like to call it, the make some noise division. Because, they were making noise now in the welterweight division. Moving on.
Anyway.
Both Pettis and Masvidal made some noise in a higher weight class is what I was going for. But whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whatever you said.
Jerk face.
Yes, so what's it called? There's a couple good fights yesterday.
A couple of stellar fights.
Your homie Chito Vera.
Yeah, my man. Ecuador.
With the
W. Rights. I was definitely going for him. I was wearing my Ecuadorian.
A couple of shots to the back of the head, but
I was wearing. That didn't matter.
Slide on that.
That didn't matter. He lost anyway. Knocked him down with a straight left. That means he's got the power. And was able to keep him down. He wasn't able to utilize his wrestling. Frankenstein's, and to be fair, Frankenstein's I don't think is in his prime anymore. But with the experience, he definitely could have reigned on Chito Vera's parade and totally stopped like his win streak going on. But now he's moving his win streak from 3 fights. And I think yesterday after he won with that amazing TKO victory that Chito Vera put in, he called out Nathaniel Wood, who had a really good showing in UFC London.
British prospect.
That's a big step up in competition for him. I mean, he needs that at this point. He has 3 wins. He needs to make some noise in that bantamweight division so he can be put up there with the top. With the some of the top players.
The squeakiest wheel gets the oil, as they say.
The what?
The squeakiest wheel gets the oil.
Is that
that's a thing? Yeah.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Well, whatever. You didn't give me debt for mine, and I'm not giving you debt for yours. So let's move on with that stupid shit. But yeah, shout out to Chito Vera. Great win. Viva Ecuador, Chucha. Goddamn right. Also, Randa Marcos had a really good submission win yesterday against Angela Hill. Not a lot of like finishes yesterday, so it's good that we can talk about all of them and like fit them into this particular segment.
Well, one of them was Macy Barber.
Yeah,
she's a prospect in the flyweight division.
She looked like she was having some problems in the first round. No, she didn't.
She's not super technical. JJ Aldrich was a lot more technical, but just I think really didn't really have the firepower that Macy had. But once Macy was able to get a little more aggressive, she was just couldn't be stopped.
She landed some pretty good shots though in the first round. JJ Aldrich, she definitely landed a couple on Macy, knocked Macy down for a minute, so it's almost like, I mean,
she kept countering her, especially I think the kicks.
And in that particular situation, I mean, she could have like definitely, after she knocked down Barber, she could have definitely just like thrown herself all over her and tried to finish her or something like that. But luckily for Macy Barber, she weathered the storm, came back in the second round, and then provided a storm of her own that JJ Aldrich could not capitalize on. Poor JJ.
No, well, Macy's
intent
on becoming the flyweight queen.
The youngest, she's trying to be the youngest.
She's 20.
She's 20 right now, but she's trying to become the youngest champion in the UFC. Essentially, trying to be John Jones. I think John Jones was like champion when he was 23. Macy is trying to get it done before she turns 23, so I guess she's trying to get it done within the next 2 years. I mean, hey, that's off to her. She has this like little countdown on her phone.
Oh, really?
For when she gets to her 23rd birthday and wants to get the title before that. I mean, she's on the right path. Like, the UFC seems to be getting behind her right now. They're definitely pushing for her, and they're like, hey, she could be our next star and this and that. So, hey, hats off to her. Yesterday with that big win against JJ, it's definitely looking good for her so far. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, we'll see who they give her, especially in like the flyweight division right now. It's not exactly the most, talent-heavy division right now.
It's pretty new. Yeah, pretty new, so...
We'll see what happens.
I think she's going to do well. The Violent Bob Ross fought Steven should regret that chest tattoo Peterson. Really, what the fuck is that?
It's Superman.
I know.
That's Superman. That's actually, it looks like the Steel. It looks like this.
Fuck?
Remember Steel? Like Shaquille O'Neal played when he played Steel? I think it's that because it's metal. And then he has flames.
And he also has like a chain. I think the Superman is a chain.
That's a deep.
And he has like
I see what it is.
That go down and hold it.
I see what he's doing there. I mean, that's a heavy ass tattoo. You better be about something, son.
Well, he wasn't yesterday. He took on Luis Pena. Didn't really have too much to show for. Luis really just kind of, especially on the ground, kind of held his own.
Pena didn't. Well, luckily he is training at AKA, so that's definitely good for him.
He had his coach commentating in the fight.
Where else can you? Yeah, I was gonna say where else are you gonna get a better ground game than going to fucking American Kickboxing Academy? You got fucking Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier and Khabib and every other Dagestani wrestler there, so no other better place to get that wrestling game down.
This is true.
Although he did come in 3 pounds?
He came overweight.
He came in 148 or 149. Homie is 6'3" though. He's fucking 6'3".
He's a pretty tall guy.
He can lose mad weight, bro. Like even at 6'3", he can probably make some noise in the lightweight division. Why not get the muscle game up and just cut down to 155?
Well, I remember.
I think he would still have the reach advantage.
He was fighting in another division before, wasn't
he? No, I think it was featherweight.
Oh, and he was talking about going. I don't know if he was in bantamweight, but I know he was talking about going to
lightweight.
So maybe it was the lightweight, or maybe it was the bantamweight. I don't know. I know he was calling somebody out. I'm kicking you, bro.
No, you kicked the garbage.
All right, then I meant to kick you.
Damn.
No,
you're garbage.
Jesus.
No, but yeah, he's still a big dude though. He's 6'3". At 6'3", you can fight at fucking light heavyweight and make some noise. Yeah. If he goes up to lightweight, I don't even think he needs to put on that much muscle. Just with the ground game that he's getting at AKA, and if he ups his striking, he could make some noise at lightweight. Which again, I mean, lightweight is no joke. That is the shark pool of talent that's going on over there right now. But I mean, he has options for his frame and for his size. He definitely has options to go up and down as he pleases. But I guess we'll see what happens with that in the future, and maybe he'll actually make weight next time at featherweight.
Oh, there's open. Then we had the throwdown at the featherweight division. A lot of implications here and the title picture.
Yeah. How many wins does he have now? Formiga in a row.
Good amount, like 3 or 4. Or so.
Let me look at this. Let me look this up. Husier. Why do I call it Husimar? Husier Formiga. Let's see how many wins he has.
I think you're thinking
he's on a 4-fight winning streak. A 4-fight winning streak, which is not bad for the flyweight division. That's kind of like having an 8-fight winning streak at lightweight. So that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he looked pretty good. He got bloodied up a little bit, but he looked pretty good. Supposedly. What?
Nothing. Was just mimicking you. So.
Bash you over the head with something. I don't know what.
Damn.
My dick.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to crack your skull. Anyway. Jesus. That face. Yeah, so apparently Dana White's got a plan for Formiga, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. Good win for him yesterday.
Yeah, good win for him. John Makdessi beats Jesus Pinedo. But that was a last minute replacement, I think. Yeah. I forget who he was supposed to fight, but
it wasn't the best fight.
That was a pretty boring fight.
Jesus Pinedo.
Yeah, the fans were not happy. The crowd was not
Pinedo,
happy.
I was actually looking at him. He's a pretty good prospect coming out of Peru. I thought he was going to make some noise and maybe knock out John Makdessi or do something because he does have a very
he needed that.
Unorthodox. I was going to say he has a very unorthodox way of striking. He could have definitely brought the pain to John Makdessi, who is also a good striker, but unfortunately not the best fight, not the most exciting fight that night that it could have been. So, I mean, John Makdessi got the win, of course, by decision. So, I mean, good for John Makdessi. I don't know I don't really understand what can go on from there. There's no real...
there's no real implications in the division or nothing.
Yeah,
He's just going to grab another, maybe someone that's floating around the 15, top 15 at the end there, tail end of that.
My nose is getting so itchy.
And we got Curtis Blades and Justin Willis. Another not really super exciting fight.
Big pretty.
90% of that fight was Curtis Blades just laying on top of Justin Willis, out wrestling him.
I don't understand when that happens. Like, it's so... When people go up against, like, a wrestler, and they're like, first of all, he was talking mad shit. The build-up of it. He was talking mad shit. Big Pretty.
Well, he has power, but that's how he got nullified. Curtis nullified his game by wrestling him. He couldn't...
There you go.
You're not going to be able to knock him out if he's got you on your back.
He probably thought he was going to get him down, just like Francis Ngannou did. Ngannou knocked down Curtis Blades with a couple of strikes, and that's how he won that fight. Justin Willis probably thought he was going to do the same thing, just make quick work out of him. But nah, son, none of that.
I thought he had a low center of weight, center of gravity. Wouldn't be able to take down so easy. But
get that Mark Hunt shit going, yeah. But I mean, Curtis Blades coming out with another big win for himself in the heavyweight division. Everyone keeps talking about how Curtis Blades looks like a future contender, a future world champion, and I gotta agree with people. I mean, he has all the tools to do so. You just got to make sure to put them together when the big fights happen, and he's got to make sure he backs it up when he goes against somebody in like the top 5, the top 10.
Yeah.
Fuck a motherfucker up. But Justin Willis talking all that shit didn't pan out for him. So we'll see what he comes back with. Hopefully he'll be a little more humble next time. Maybe he won't. All it matters.
I mean, you gotta sell those tickets too,
That's true. That's definitely. I mean, we are living in that age where people have to sell tickets and people are selling themselves. My big thing is always just like. My big thing is, if you're gonna talk that shit.
Sorry, folks.
What is that? Who's that supposed to be?
My nephew.
Or
my.
Oh, shout outs to Shane's nephew for ruining that particular soundbite.
Oh.
But like I get it, the whole talking shit and building up your fan base and all that stuff, but you got to be able to back that up, and you got to be able to be great all over the place. Like if you're like a Ben Askren, who let's say can take a fucking punch but can wrestle the shit out of somebody and get him in a bulldog choke kind of thing, then go ahead, do your thing. But if you're just gonna be, some like a Big Pretty that's gonna go in there and just talk all this noise to get people to watch you get fucked up for 15 straight minutes, then is it really all that worth it? I mean, after tomorrow, people are just literally thinking he's gonna be a shit talker. So
yeah, I mean, it happens a lot to people going against wrestlers, not kind of underestimating them, and then they end up getting kind of just
It's just so weird because I'm just like, if you're going against a wrestler, especially somebody like big like Curtis Blades, who obviously, if you're going against a heavyweight who's great at any kind of thing, especially wrestling, then you better know what the fuck you're doing. You better know how to stand up out of there. Unless you're Derek Lewis, who can literally stand up when you get taken down whenever, then it's like, all right, talk all the shit you want, but come on, buddy. You're not really doing yourself any favors saying you're the best heavyweight and fuck all these other heavyweights when you're spending most of the time on your back or on your side trying to breathe for your goddamn life.
Boom, roasted.
There you go.
All right. And then we have Stephen Thompson getting knocked the fuck out by Anthony Pettis with 5 seconds left in the round.
My goodness.
That was a very unexpected, interesting...
What a way to make some noise in the welterweight division. You just came out of nowhere with that. Former lightweight champion Anthony Pettis giving us another highlight reel knockout, putting on the Showtime and knocking out the Wonder Boy. And yeah, man, it was just a well-timed Superman punch. But it was crazy because it wasn't like a straight, like most Superman punches.
It was kind of a hook.
It was kind of a hook, yeah. It was like a hook and a Superman punch. So a little spin on that. Definitely fucking did what he did, because when Wonder Boy woke up, he said it himself during the post-fight interview. He had no idea what happened. He did not know what he got hit with. He just got up. And that was the first time Stephen Wonderboy got knocked out in his 80-fight career. That's also including his kickboxing career. He's never been knocked out. He's never been KO'd like that. First time that's happened. And Jesus Christ, it's just like I said earlier, it was just so funny how like in the past 7 days, we've literally seen 2 guys who were fighting for like the top contender at the welterweight division both get KO'd. Knocked out like a motherfucker. And not even by anybody in the welterweight division. Well, I mean, Jorge Masvidal has been in the welterweight division, but he used to fight at a much lighter weight. Exactly, a lot of newcomers. The welterweight, the Make Some Noise division, as I like to call it again. I'm going to keep calling it that because you hate it.
I really wish you would not.
Well, you hate it now, so I'm going to keep doing it.
I'm going to hate it even more.
Nice. But yeah, man, fucking Anthony Pettis making some noise yesterday. Let's see what's next for him. He said he wants to go back down and fight at 155, the winner of next week's fight. We'll get to that a little later. Or he wants to fight somebody, I think, at 170. He wants to run it back with RDA at 170. And right now, I mean, has RDA won his last fight? Or he lost?
He lost to Covington, and then I think he lost again.
Let me take a look at this.
Who the hell did he fight again?
He lost to Covington.
Didn't he fight... shit.
Let's take a look at this. Bear with us, will you? We don't have all this in the top of our heads. He lost to Kobe and then lost to Kamaru. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, RDA coming off of 2 losses and then now going against Anthony Pettis, who just made some noise.
I mean, if I'm Pettis, I'm not going to go. I don't want to take that fight.
I mean, he wants to win it. He wants to run it back.
Yeah, but he just beat the number 3 ranked welterweight. Which is crazy, though. It's crazy to me that fucking Wonderboy took that fight.
RDA is ranked at number 7.
That was a crazy fight to take.
Yeah, I mean...
Made no sense.
He wanted to get back in it. Show off his skills. If anything, I mean, because he used to be up for title contention, him beating anybody, especially even if it's a lightweight champion, he's still a former champion. Him beating somebody, he could literally be like, hey, man, I want Kamaru next, or I want to go against whoever's going to get me up to Kamaru. I'm sure it was his plan, and I'm sure what everybody thought was going to happen, but...
That's crazy also if you look at his last fight, Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson freaking whooped Anthony Pettis, beat him in the striking match, and then you got Anthony Pettis going up and taking out one of the best strikers in the UFC in the second round.
Well, that was another thing, too. I mean, Tony Ferguson, when he beat... There was another thing I realized about Pettis, regardless of people want to say about Pettis losing a lot at lightweight and losing to all these like people and stuff like that, he's tough as fuck. Like, when Pettis loses, he gets, like, fucked up. Like, he's one of those. He was
still bloodied up, yeah. He's like taking a lot of jabs.
He's like the Shogun of the lightweight division. Because every time Shogun loses, he either gets knocked the fuck out or he gets, like, TKO'd like a motherfucker. But, no, you saw Pettis go in there. He lost to Tony Ferguson.
He goes to fight. He goes for war.
Other than Alvarez and Barboza, in Pettis' last, 6-7 fights, he's only lost to champions and or previous title holders or people who are up for the title strap. He lost to Max Holloway. He lost to Max Holloway at featherweight for that interim strap. He lost to Dustin Poirier, and then he lost to Tony Ferguson. But he lost to Dustin Poirier after getting fucked up for a bit, and then we saw the fight with him and Tony Ferguson. That was a fucking slobber knocker and a half, blood all over the place. I don't know, like maybe Anthony Pettis this time going up to welterweight is what he actually needed. And he's always had that knockout power. I mean, he's got a black belt in Taekwondo, so maybe going up to welterweight will do him some good. Maybe he can make some noise up there, much like Jorge Masvidal is also making noise in the welterweight division.
Yeah,
I'm gonna dig that in the make noise division. I'm gonna drill it into your fucking face.
All right, let's leave that division so we don't have to hear that anymore. And let's jump into the 135-pound division.
Oh, man.
Because TJ the Snake Dillashaw was suspended.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, TJ Dillashaw, sorry.
Oh, no.
Not the snake.
So many people.
Not a snake.
It's so funny because Kobe called it. Kobe said that he was showing people in Team Alpha Male how to fucking use, like, steroids, which is kind of a...
I think
backhanded compliment.
Faber was saying something like that there was somebody in the camp that was doing it or something.
Well, I mean, when you say that, though, that kind of makes your camp look bad because it's like, all right, well, why do you guys have some guy in your camp using steroids? And it makes you wonder, like, who else was using steroids? So I don't know if that was the smartest thing for Kobe and Uriah to shit on Dillashaw about. If it is true, because there are no further findings, so... These are all, of course, allegations until we get the facts.
Well, I mean, he is suspended, but he has a hearing. I guess to figure out how long he's going to be suspended.
Right. Yeah.
There needs to be some, like, interested to hear more information on what the substance was and how much was in, his blood or whatever. And
oh wait, I gotta look this up. Because,
so we'll have to see, but also, like, of course, Connor comes out and he's saying, "Oh, I called that years ago."
Yeah,
when they were on the show. He's like, "Oh, snake in the grass."
Fucking.
Everybody's gonna have their 2 cents.
Of course, he's gonna come in and say some shit, and not to mention also, there's a very important thing I heard on some MMA forums out there on the black web that we like looking at. We gotta talk about the nipples. Dillashaw's nipples.
Yeah, he's got nice nipples.
No.
Oh, wait.
Talk about the size of the nipples.
Oh, yeah, they're great size.
No, but God damn it, that's not what I'm talking about. Apparently. I think we might have mentioned this once or twice, but like his nipples are always very like up and erect,
very perky,
which is an odd thing. Nipples. Apparently, there's a thing called what's it?
Perky nippleitis.
Gynecomastia or gynecomastia. Not sure what it is. You could look it up. GYNECOMASTIA.
AKA penis nipples.
Essentially, this happens with young boys when they're going through puberty. Obviously, they get that testosterone buildup in their body, and it makes their like nipples erect or something like that. It makes them bigger than they should be, like the tips. And I mean, if you look at Dillashaw's last couple of fights, whenever he's not wearing a shirt, those things could poke a hole through glass. So somebody on an online thread mentioned that like maybe he has that because he's been doing all these steroids and stuff like that. And there were photos of people were taking of all the supplements and stuff like that Dillashaw was taking. There's like literally 40 fucking different supplements on a table that Dillashaw was taking to cut down to 125. Now, I don't know why this didn't I don't know why this wasn't like a gynecomastia? Yeah, gynecomastia. Maybe we can how do you pronounce that?
Enlargement or swelling of the breast tissue.
Yeah, there you go. It's most commonly caused by male estrogen
too high or
levels.
out of balance
with
testosterone level.
There you go. That kind of thing.
Oh my god, look. Motherfucker's got titties.
Yeah, man. Motherfucker's got titties. But I mean, also Dillashaw works out. See, there you go.
This is the technical gynecomastia, also called man boobs.
There you go. Also
yeah, but that's I mean that's weird. I feel like that would be a higher estrogen levels. Why would that? I feel like you're not doesn't benefit you in fighting. When I have higher testosterone.
Allegedly. Let's say that again. These are all allegations, of course, and like we're looking at.
I wonder what comes up when we look up TJ Dillashaw nipples.
Yeah, look that up. Why not? Maybe he had different nipples now than he had a couple of days ago. I mean, a couple of years ago.
And a bookmark. Okay, there's a lot of.
See, look at those things. Those things are massive. Those things are massive.
That's Photoshop.
Yeah, well, I know that's Photoshop.
I was like, how weird is that? Like, what is that?
Yeah. Look, they're always like really just up there. What's that about?
They're pretty pointy.
Yeah, man. It's just a very interesting thing.
He got some angry nipples.
He's got man boob action going on. You probably don't realize it because he works out a lot, so he's always cut up and chiseled up everywhere. So that is another.
He's always flexed too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, if we maybe we take a look at how he was 3 years ago, as compared to now. Oh my god! What the hell?
Pound for pound nipple rankings.
Tom Lawler. Wow, you find really weird things when you put man nipples on Google, huh? Yeah.
But is that real?
I'm pretty. They probably put that up there. That's funny. But yeah, man, you gotta look at the nipples, bro. When you see the nipples are mad big, that means there's something up with the testosterone level, apparently, or something like that. So look at those things, man. These things are massive. What's going on there? Yeah, man. Fucking put it on a pacifier, crying out loud. And
don't threaten me with a good time.
Anyway. But yeah, I mean, he's suspended for now, and because of that, they needed to find a new. Bantamweight champion because he voluntarily vacated his title while he's going through this. I mean, I'm not saying that's weird, and I'm not saying that's a red light, but it's very just interesting how he just like, I'm just gonna let this belt go.
You know, some people before him
did hold up the division, right? I guess
they wanted to get ahead of it,
right?
You know, he's trying to get ahead of it.
That makes sense.
And he's saying, I want to get ahead of it. So he came out first before anything official came out and said, to his fans, I want to let you guys know that there was an adverse finding or something in the fucking last USADA test, and he is, I say he's gonna give up the belt. I don't know why, but that's so weird, right? Like, is that the first thing you do is to say, I'm gonna give up the belt? I guess he knew they were going to take it regardless.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it seemed that way. And I mean, he hadn't defended the belt since like November.
When was the last champ? When was the last champ that got popped for steroids? Like while they were champ?
John Jones.
Yeah, right. Those.
Pretty sure it was John Jones.
But even before that, like there's not very many.
Pretty sure.
Like, usually they're popped like they're not the champ.
Picograms, sir.
I want to see. I don't know how many picograms are in those nipples.
We got to make sure how many picograms are in there. If it's a low level of picograms, then maybe.
Miss Dillashaw, when you're sucking on those things, be careful. You don't want to.
Yeah.
Get any picograms out of there.
Goodness. Yeah, I mean, for now, Dillashaw is suspended, so I think the plans are to have two people fight for the bantamweight title, which we could talk about that a little bit later on our Cejudo weight topic. But we can move on to Tony Ferguson. Oh man,
El Cucuy.
Team El Cucuy. Oh goodness, that upsetted me a lot.
It's a really weird story. So he
lost his fucking.
There's
mind.
a lot of his wife kind of detailed it for I guess the authorities on that. So supposedly he's just been, he kind of sounds like schizophrenic or something. He's having a lot of like weird episodes where he's super paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that this fucking like house was tapped. He thought that I forget all these crazy things.
He thought there was he thought there was like a microchip in his leg that they
thought there was a microchip in his leg.
They had put a microchip in his leg when they had done surgery on his knee. They thought there were people living in his walls, and there were also episodes of him not doing anything violent towards his family. Let that be clear that there was no domestic abuse or violence of any kind towards his family. That's one thing that they wanted to be clear on.
Violent.
That's one thing that they wanted to be clear on, and that's awesome that at least that didn't happen. Like it never went that far, but there were instances where he would like break stuff in his home.
Oh yeah, psychotic break.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one where he thought that the lunar eclipse was going to cause a flood, so he purchased a life raft and drove them 111 miles to the desert.
Jesus. In the midst of the episode is when he agreed to medical treatment, damn. But later refused.
He woke her up in the middle of the night accusing her of being a witch, screaming at her.
Jesus.
He
was like flinging
he thought there were
holy
cameras
water.
in the refrigerator and a ceiling fan, so he cut the wires of the HVAC system.
Damn.
Looking for a tracking device.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tore off the mirror in the
literally
wall.
Seems like he's just having like a schizophrenic
He thought he was
episodes.
being poisoned.
That's crazy. He's throwing holy water at his wife. It's
just,
It sucks. I mean, we've always seen Henry, he's always been an eclectic is the word? Or eccentric.
Eccentric, yeah.
Eccentric. He's always been an eccentric individual. People sometimes called him, like a cringe.
Cringe god?
Cringe god. Yeah, people called him that a lot. I always thought it was just, I thought it was him, and that's what he does, and like he says these things, whatever, and this and that, but I mean, his record speaks for itself. He's on a 11 fight winning streak right now, 10 fight winning streak right now. He has all the means to ask for a title shot next, but unfortunately, I mean, he needs to look at his mental state right now. I mean, it's good that he's finally getting the help he needs. It's good that his management and even the UFC is doing what they can to get him his help. So, I mean, you know, as long as that's going on, and as long as he's getting himself looked at, as long as he's healthy and his family is doing well and good and all that stuff, everything seems to be working out in a positive favor. So that's good. That's good that like they're working it out, and he's like finally getting the help he needs. So you know,
I thought that I thought it was weird because when Dana White was saying something like, you know, asked about Tony Ferguson, and he's like, he's not ready for this right now, or he'll let us know
that's
he's ready,
true.
or like,
Yeah,
he's not in the right state right now, or something like that.
That was
and
like
no one knew
weird,
exactly what was going on. I guess obviously he had heard something and knew.
I'll be honest, like when I first heard that, I thought it was like domestic violence shit, and I was like, oh fuck, don't tell me this is going on. Like that just kind of sucks. Like it's unfortunate. Like I'm sorry that my mind went there, but usually when people say that, it's like he's got some personal issues. Something's going on with someone's marriage, or something's going on
at home.
Like yeah, exactly, something going on at home. Not to say that I'm glad that it ended up just being his mental, because obviously nobody's health, regardless of what kind of health is on the line. Exactly, yeah, it's scary as fuck. But it's good that, like I said, it never got to a point where it was a domestic violence issue, and his family and everybody else is behind him. So
yeah, it's really unfortunate for the timing though too.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus
Christ. He's like hasn't been more clear of a number one contender. He's
especially right now with Khabib and Conor out of the picture for now, at least until the fall. Like, I mean,
and they're not gonna jump into giving him that shot anytime soon.
Yeah,
until they know. I mean, thankfully he's getting help. You know, right now the UFC is trying to help him out, and he's seeing some doctors. So hopefully that, you know, he gets some treatment. And
for all we know, Khabib might not fight until like let's say November. Khabib wants to fight next.
He's not
gonna
fight for a while. He said he wasn't gonna fight until his teammate was or his cousin or whatever.
Yeah, his teammates. I think which is up until October.
And he doesn't fight during the summer anyway. I think
right now I think Conor is also waiting to fucking. Conor might fight Nate Diaz again, or he might fight Jorge Masvidal again.
I mean, he's got a lot of options.
Yeah, all that stuff. So I'm thinking right now, like, whoever wins, Holloway, Poirier, might go against Tony Ferguson in the summertime anyway. I think they might defend that interim title one more time before, like, Khabib comes back. And if that's the case, I mean, maybe Tony will get a shot then. Hopefully he does. But I don't know. I feel like we'll see Tony Ferguson back in the octagon before we see Khabib or Conor in there going for like the lightweight title again, so to speak. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah, wishing them
shout outs. Yeah, exactly. Shout outs to Team El Kukui. Shout out to Tony Ferguson. Hope you get better, sir. Come back strong. We're rooting for you here at 3/4 guard. Let's move on to holy shit.
Cejudo weight division is alive and pumping.
Who's making noise this week? The flyweights and the bantamweights are. Holy fuck. It's great.
For good and bad.
I like it.
But I think it all worked out in the favor of Henry Cejudo.
That son of a bitch is on top of the world right now.
Yeah, not only did he take out TJ Dillashaw, who may or may not have been digesting horse meat that night, but he his suspension just opened the door for Cejudo to scoop up that vacant belt.
Dillashaw is not supposed to be back until January 2020, especially if this suspension goes through and they do figure out what happened with his test. So yeah,
it'll be a year.
Like I said, technically right now, Henry Cejudo is the champion and the top guy at flyweight and at bantamweight. And I think they're gonna set up. I think Dana White said it yesterday after UFC Nashville. That it's going to be Cejudo versus Marlon Moraes for the vacant bantamweight strap.
Moraes obviously coming off on a nice string of wins.
I like Moraes. I like what he's been doing a lot. I like what he's been doing recently.
So he deserves that, obviously. And a lot of people were kind of trying to throw their hat in the ring. They had Aljamain Sterling.
Shouts to Aljamain Sterling.
Munoz.
Giving us a like yesterday on one of our stories, and on one of our posts.
Yeah, Funkmaster.
Even though it was about him, but still. Thanks for the like. We appreciate that. But Aljamain Sterling was trying to make his case, and I mean what he was saying was fair. He said let Henry Cejudo fight Joe Benavidez, who he had lost to 3 fights ago.
Yeah, and, as Joe
in a close decision win, he had made all the sense in the world. And to be fair, Cejudo's been a little bit flip floppy now with the whole bantamweight belt being vacant.
The flyweight division.
He wanted to save the flyweight division at first, and now he's like, "Fuck that!"
Now he's seeing those checks. He's cashing those checks, and he's like, "Shit, that's a lot of zeros."
You can't hate on the man. I mean, he is using the last win. He's using it to his advantage. He's pinpointing out all of his past wins. He's an Olympic medalist.
Well,
He beat Demetrius Johnson for the flyweight strap.
I mean, I see it as like
so.
As a UFC fighter, there's really a sliding scale for the money you're making, and if you're a champ, you're way ahead of everyone else.
No,
and I guess not even really a sliding scale, because I guess it's more than like a jumping scale, because the difference between like a number one contender and a champ is way bigger, especially in that division. So the more noise he makes, the more checks he cashes right now, the better for him.
No, that's true. Advantage of that. And I mean, the sport is like, we know, like, people don't really stay on top for like 10 years or like 8 years. People really, like, when they become champion, sometimes people don't even stay champion for a year. They stay champion for a couple of months. They stay champion, like, at most we've seen somebody been a champion recently is like maybe 3 years or something like that, just because of the big pool of talent. So I mean, you got to do what you can during that time, cash these big money fights, make some noise. And right now, like we said before, everybody's looking at the flyweight and bantamweight division. Everybody's wondering who's going to be the next bantamweight champ. Dominic Cruz is going to be out until at least the end of the year. All these top guys, Aljamain Sterling, Jimmy Rivera, have recently lost to Marlon Moraes. So at first I thought it was going to be Marlon Moraes versus Pedro Munoz, because Munoz knocked out Cody Garbrandt and made some noise for himself.
Yeah, he jumped to number 4, I think.
That's right.
What was that?
I'm sorry. I sneeze sometimes like that. Regardless.
I think a little girl walked by.
Damn. But yeah, man. Right now, Cejudo is the top guy.
He's gonna do, man.
I
think he's feeling himself a little too much.
Absolutely, he is. Why the fuck not?
Hey,
It's never bad, because when you're feeling yourself that much, people will either agree with you and they'll want to see you keep feeling yourself, or people will want to see you get knocked the fuck out. So I mean, it's bringing more attention to the lighter weight classes. It's not bad. It's not
I know
bad
who's not feeling him. Nikki Bella.
Damn.
Sorry.
Goodness. Horrible. But yeah, there was a little back and forth with Marlon Moraes and Henry Cejudo on that. Marlon Moraes shat on him in his attempts to get at Nikki Bella. Shout out to my WWE fans out there.
Hey, man, I'm sure Henry Cejudo's got no troubles getting his dick wet. He'll be fine.
Probably
He'll be all right.
Yeah, when you're a champion of a division, I'm sure he's fine.
He probably flew back home and there was vagina waiting for him at the airport.
Damn. But yeah, man, a lot of noise happening in the flyweights division and the bantamweight division.
Or butthole. I don't discriminate.
Right now, Henry Cejudo is going for the double champ status, as they announced that him and Marlon Moraes would be going for the vacant bantamweight strap. And also, I think Jussier Formiga is going to be going against Joe Benavidez to see who the number one contender, I'm pretty sure, for the flyweight strap.
Yeah, it's got to be, yeah.
So that's good. And just in case something happens between...
There'll be an alternate, yeah.
Cejudo and Marlon Moraes, one of them will be the alternate, so...
That would be the weirdest thing in the fucking world. Imagine one of these guys... would be super... would be the weirdest thing in the world?
What's that?
Marlon Moraes gets injured the day before, and they call up Joseph Benavidez, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to fight the flyweight champion for the bantamweight belt?"
that might just happen. That's what's funny about that.
Does that even, that's the weirdest shit.
That's exactly what might happen, because I mean that's kind of how they have it set up right now. They're gonna have
Benavidez was a 135er at one point.
That's true. Yeah, he was. But they're gonna have him fight on the same card as well. So that's why it's really weird.
Maybe this is a way to kind of get rid of the flyweights, kind of like mash them up, mash everything up there.
So if Marlon Moraes gets injured, the flyweight division is over. Man,
pretty much, right?
You really want that division dead? Goodness, it's terrible. But
that would just be so weird. Somebody beats Henry Cejudo from the flyweight division, and he's still the champ, but they beat him in the bantamweight division for the belt. And then I want a rematch now at flyweight or something, and then it goes back and forth and back and forth.
This is only going to
fucking game of ping pong.
It's funny. I'm pretty sure right now, after that whole announcement yesterday, Twitter's going fucking nuts with Aljamain and Jimmy Rivera and all these guys at bantamweight, probably thinking the same thing. It's like, so if
that's scary. If you're in either one of those divisions, this is a fucking weird time.
It is a very weird time. Tim Elliott keeps talking about wanting to fight this other flyweight, so they can see who can be a top contender. I forget who he was talking to, but he was talking to somebody the other day who wanted to fight them at flyweight. And Tim Elliott hasn't fought in a minute, so I don't know. It's a strange time.
We'll just have to see what happens.
To be a part of Cejudo weight. We'll see how that goes.
Ride that roller coaster.
Yep.
See where it takes us.
I mean, when don't we? God.
This is true. All right, let's jump into. I mean, we're already talking about matchmaking, but let's get down to nitty gritty.
I think they were talking. What were we talking about? The lightweight division. So we're
looking at. Let's go. I guess like class by class here.
Yeah,
so
we can do
flyweight. Yeah, who you got? You got.
We talked about bantamweight, so let's go with the flyweight.
Number 1, Benavidez. Number 2 right now. They're gonna fight for the interim. Not interim, but the number 1 contender.
Number 1 contender, which is
I'm surprised it's not gonna be an interim or something. But you know the thing is, I guess they would never want. They don't want flyweights to headline a card, really. So
that's unfortunate.
So I don't even think they're not gonna have an interim belt because they're not gonna. They'd rather have any other weight class.
I mean, at this point, also if like Cejudo wins the bantamweight strap, he will be the flyweight champ who won at bantamweight. And that was Demetrius Johnson's biggest problem, was not being able to win so much at bantamweight. So he will have done what the greatest flyweight of all time didn't do. And because of that, I feel like it might bring more attention to those lighter weight classes. And then if anything, if like Cejudo can go up and down defending the straps, that would be very interesting to watch. That would be still good to see.
And maybe, who knows if that happens.
It's just very weird. Like flyweight right now, it's, like I said, you got Tim Elliott there.
You had a bunch of new names in there in the
Alexander
bottom.
Pantoja.
Who knows if everyone else except for Figueiredo are all ex-contenders.
Yeah, and last night Figueiredo lost.
Even Tim Elliott a little further down.
Yeah, Figueiredo lost last night.
Benavidez fought for the belt. Did Formiga fight for the belt yet? No, actually.
No, he has not.
No, he hasn't gotten that shot.
He hasn't gotten that shot, but I think he has the longest winning streak right now.
Yeah.
Where he's he has beaten a couple of the top guys. Like I think he beat Ray Borg. I think he beat Wilson Reese. That's why I'm pretty sure they have him up against Joe Benavidez.
So many new names in that division. A lot of people left or got cut.
Yeah, which is so stupid. I don't know why they did that. I feel like they cut a lot of people early.
Yeah, before anything was solid.
Set in stone, exactly. Now with all this craziness.
And then bantamweight, Marlon Moraes, obviously number 1. Sun Tzu's interested in. He wants to get in there
It's just weird because right now they got to rearrange that whole fucking thing right now. Because Aljamain, I mean, he won his last fight, but he lost to Moraes.
Yeah, that's why I would not give him this
lost to
fight.
Moraes. Jimmy Rivera
lost to Moraes. Fight last.
Moraes.
And he lost to Moraes, right?
Moraes, yeah. Moraes knocked out.
That was the last one, yeah, the guillotine. That's right.
Moraes knocked out a Sun Tzu.
Aljamain, but right, that was a rematch.
That was a rematch.
Right,
yeah. That was a rematch.
But he has won. Yeah, he wins over both Aljamain and Moraes.
Which is so. That's why it's so weird. It's that weird thing. Whenever like I think a year and a half ago, like what was going on with the middleweight division? Not even in like 2017. What was going on with the middleweight division? Everyone thought it was going to be like Rockhold, Romero, Jacare, or Weidman that were going to have the strap for a while. And then that totally switched up and it became like fucking, it's like fucking Robert Whittaker is now champion. And now Israel Adesanya and Kevin Gastelum are fighting for the interim. That division totally got rearranged, which is essentially what's going on with bantamweight.
Our most fucked up shit, I think, happening in the matchmaking is that Jacare is not getting a fucking an interim shot.
Well, he's going against Romero.
I know, but it's just crazy to me.
Jacare lost.
It's just but he
Romero.
Yeah, but he beat he just beaten Weidman.
Yeah.
And he what's his name? Gastelum just lost to Weidman.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Jacare too. It's like they've asked him to fight for the interim title a couple of times.
Oh, I think he turned down once.
He always turns it down because it's at such short notice. He's always been the guy that they call, like, they're like, hey.
Oh, yeah, he lost to Gastelum. That's right.
That's why. See? He lost to Gastelum and to Robert Whittaker already.
Oh, he lost to Whittaker. That's
he lost to Whittaker already.
I forgot
he lost to Romero.
Gastelum.
That's why he's already lost to like the top 3 guys in the division. That's why it's probably so difficult.
No, but but the thing is, like, he in a few of these instances here, you should have already had the shot.
You're also talking about MMA math, and MMA math never makes sense. No. So you can't exactly try to say like he should be number 1 or he should be fighting for this, that, and third. Because should he? He lost to the.
I know, but I think like a while back he could have.
And right now we also know the deal. I mean, Israel Adesanya is making the most noise in middleweight. He's the flashier guy. He's the guy who just beat Anderson Silva. If not, he still beat him by decision, but he still beat Anderson Silva. So I mean, that's still a big deal. He's up there. We're also talking about the division where Michael Bisping was champion and went against Dan Henderson, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it is a circus.
It's a very weird. I mean, most of it is a fucking circus, but. What are you gonna do?
And then what are we talking about? Oh yeah, so yeah, it's kind of a mess of bantamweight.
It's a mess
you got
of bantamweight
Dominic
right
Cruz
now.
is gonna be out for a while.
Cody Garbrandt
just got knocked out.
Jimmy Rivera lost to
Jimmy
Marlon
Rivera's
Moraes.
lost.
John Lineker, I think, is going
Lineker
against Peter Yan.
Yeah, he was going to fight Dominic, I think, and then
That's when that
Dominic
whole thing happened. Who's John Lineker going against now, though? Isn't it going against somebody?
I mean, I'm sure he has a fight. Hands of Steel. And
John
he's someone to watch out for. He's
Stone.
Or is it? What did I say?
Hands of Steel.
Yeah, he beat Kelleher, Vera, and
The bout with Sandhagen.
he was going to fight Cody Sandhagen.
Oh, Cody.
Corey was going to take Cruz's spot.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to fight on the 27th.
That's cool.
Sandhagen.
He is
Sandhagen.
What is it?
He's not even ranked.
Yep. Looks like.
Damn, that's a risky fight.
That's
if you're a guy that's ranked, and you're taking a fight that against a guy that's unranked, that's a big risk.
I mean, that's what Stephen Wonderboy did with Pettis last night.
Yeah, and that didn't work out for him.
Paid the price.
How did that work out for you?
Showed up. Yeah, man, it's a weird thing going on right now at the flyweight, bantamweight division, the Cejudo weight divisions, if you will. It's really weird. I mean, we got to see what happens when like the champion comes up, and we got to see what happens with this number one contender fight now with Formiga and Benavidez going at it. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's move on, I guess, from that to the featherweight division is also looking weird because you got the featherweight champion fighting for the lightweight interim strap. So now the featherweight division is also kind of on hold. I think Brian Ortega wants to fight Jose Aldo in I think in the summertime.
Well, no, Jose already had a fight lined up against Volkanovski.
Volkanovski.
But I think it was 2 days ago. Came out that Jose Aldo had a bacterial infection or something. He's in the hospital. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So they put the fight in jeopardy.
No,
yeah.
I had not heard about this.
He's got some kind of bacterial infection.
What kind of fuckery?
I don't know, maybe it's
this?
staph or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Damn it.
So he had to go to the hospital.
So
that's going to kind of throw that out. You know, Max is obviously going to be fighting Poirier.
That fight's in May. So they still have time to give him a new opponent.
No, yeah, but I'm saying Max is not going to be fighting until that fight. And then...
Right.
You know, Ortega, I don't know. Ortega maybe fights Volkanovski. I mean, Volkanovski, I wouldn't necessarily want to take the fight just because Ortega just coming off a loss.
I was going to say, is Brian Ortega still... he's good to fight now? I thought they gave him a 6-month suspension.
Yeah, but that was a while ago.
That was
almost 6 months ago.
No, it was December.
Was it December?
December, bro.
So then we're almost at 4 months then.
Yeah, but it's not going to be... It's only going to be 5 months in May.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I guess we'll see. Depends.
I forget. Well, I'm not 100% sure if he was suspended 6 months. I think it might have been 3. He just got really fucked up. So,
but I mean, he looks fine. Like if you see him now, he's healed up.
He healed up like 3 days afterwards. He's like fucking Wolverine, bro. It was crazy. Zabit made some noise when he beat Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah,
I know it was
not like a crazy win, but I mean, definitely a big one.
Zabit versus Volkanovski could be an option.
Got fucked up by Aldo, which kind of sucked.
Yeah.
For that. I mean, Swanson's kind of quiet. Bektik's
who's Edgar going against?
Huh?
Is
Edgar doesn't have a fight yet. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they'll give Edgar to Volkanovski.
Yeah, maybe. Wrestler versus wrestler.
Maybe that might be the fight.
That would turn into probably a striking fight.
I was gonna say, I think they're trying to get like a Brazilian to fight Volkanovski because it's over there. But I mean, if you get a big enough name like a Frankie Edgar, it might not make a difference. So
yeah,
might be him. Might be
if he's not injured or anything. I don't know.
No, yeah.
Yair's quiet.
Yair's been pretty quiet.
Yair was I think healing up, but
yeah, right.
He's got to be coming up after that.
Yeah, I guess
I'm surprised they left him at 12. Like I would have after. You know, the short notice fight, he put on a pretty good performance and like maybe the knockout of like all time.
Josh Emmett shouldn't be up there because he got knocked the fuck out by Jeremy Stevens. Like, what was that, in November maybe or like September or something like that? Sometime around the fall.
I think Lamas just won, right?
Lamas just won. I think a decision win. Or Lamas just. Who did Lamas just beat?
Yeah, he's pretty sure he just lost. I just won. Sorry.
Who did Lamas just beat? You know, there's a search bar in Wikipedia, right?
Shut your fucking mouth. How about that? Yeah, Darren Elkins, right.
Yeah, he just beat Darren Elkins.
But he's coming off loss to Josh Emmett and Bektik.
Oh, that's
Bektik's creeping up. I can see Bektik getting somebody.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Maybe Zabit.
Once again, just like with the other divisions, all
maybe Lamas.
It's the weird, like the MMA math going on with the wins and the losses. It's just all over the place. Right now, Zabit and Volkanovski looks like it should happen. And then whoever wins that could be a top contender. Because like I said, Brian Ortega lost. Frankie Edgar hasn't been back since he lost to Ortega. Jose Aldo's got a bacterial infection. Everybody in the top 5 except for Volkanovski are essentially coming off of like somewhat losses. And Jose Aldo isn't going to be there, so it makes sense to put Volkanovski against Zabit to see who would be the top contender, to see who goes against the flyweight champ if he comes back down, the featherweight champ, should I say, if he comes back down to featherweight, Max Bless Holloway.
I would have put Yair ahead of Zabit, I think, before he fought Stevens. And I think Zabit wasn't even ranked before he fought Stevens.
That's true.
Or he was like super low ranked.
Once again, the rankings really don't matter, do they?
I know, but it's just like weird.
Fucking stupid.
And now he's at 6 and Yair's at 12.
Yair might as well be at number 7.
He should. I know what,
he might as well be number 7.
Let's just see Yair's Zabit. How about that?
Probably want to really. They should do that.
They should just do it now.
They wanted to do it twice.
Sense now. It makes sense now to do it.
They wanted to do it twice.
I think there's a good time for that now.
Yeah. Let's make it happen. Sure. Why the hell not?
All right. I'm going to text Dana.
So far, we have made 2 fights in 3 divisions. Let's move on to the lightweight division.
Once again, what the fuck, man? Everything's so
going on.
Fucked up.
From the welterweight, from like.
And can I say, I really hate the new belt.
It
looks like a fucking Power Rangers.
You got to give it a chance, bro.
Belt buckle.
Kamaru was talking about how he liked it on the fucking Joe Rogan podcast. He was talking about how he was like, "Nah, man, it's a really good. It's heavier. The design is cool. Like it looks different because the UFC logo in the middle looks smaller, but that's just because it has so much other shit around it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's so cut out. Like these, like the freaking.
It's got layers. It's popping out, son.
Like
it's 3D.
Don't like it.
It's 3D in the 3D world.
Yeah, so it's a clusterfuck, between Tony, Connor, Dustin, Al, Kevin Lee.
Right now,
you got so many killers, but there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of fucking everyone's fighting over that top spot.
Honestly, right now with Tony out, Khabib not back till November, and Connor not knowing what the fuck he wants to do per usual.
Oh no! Oh, the main issue with Connor is he doesn't want to co-main.
My nose is so.
That's the problem. Connor does not want to co-main an event. He wants to be the main event, but they will not put him in a main event unless it's a title shot, and he's not going to get a title shot. Well, he said there was a consideration that he would, but he wants equity in the UFC. He
wants equity in the fucking company,
dude. And that's a pretty big ask. Although, I mean, it looked like when WME fucking bought UFC, they gave a bunch of their clients like Conan O'Brien and
Mark Wahlberg.
They just gave him.
I mean,
obviously, it's probably like tiny, like a percent of a percent.
They are big. They're big talents in IMG though, so that's a big thing. I think that's a big reason why. And that's another big reason why they were able to buy it. Like IMG was able to.
And they probably know they're familiar with the UFC. They might be a fan of it, so they're like, keep you under our agency. We're gonna hit you with this.
But I mean, for now, it's just. I mean, it's true.
But Connor, how much does he want?
I guess does deserve it. But that's another thing, and that was a big reason why I was talking about before. Like, Connor isn't... He's not doing it for anybody else. He's not doing it to get money out there for everyone else. He knows the name of the game in MMA, and that's you make your money when you do your fight. Like we talked about before, the main event, the pay rate between the main event and the co-main event is a big fucking difference. A big difference even amongst, like, the people in the beginning of the main card. You're talking about people making 4 or 5 figures and then people making 7 figures. That's a big fucking gap.
But I mean, you look at, let's say, all right, I would have to say that I think that Connor played a major role in getting the UFC to getting the visibility for the UFC to get it where it is right now. He has like 3 of the top 5 best-selling pay-per-views.
4
of the top 5.
Him, Nate
the only one is the Lesnar UFC 200 or 100.
And,
I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think it's 4. I'm pretty sure it's 4.
It's either 3 or 4 of the top 5. So like obviously he sells tickets. He gets, and then it couldn't have come at a better time because around this time was when things were ramping up, and they sold the company for $4 point something billion. So yeah, he's definitely I mean, not that he doesn't get a lot of credit because he gives himself the credit, but I don't think a lot of people will look at it like that. But he was definitely the best salesman they had, and but at the same time, he wants equity, but he was paid. He was compensated very well for all those things.
He was compensated pretty
well.
So
I'm sure maybe he could have gone to the UFC and said, "All right, instead of cutting me a check for X amount of million, cut me a check for this amount and hit me off, with a little bit of equity." Well, I don't know if that was part of his, his deal
Dana
back
White
then,
would never
or
go
maybe
for
not.
That's like, I feel like that's one step too far. Like, I know, like, Conor was his boy, and everyone's like, oh, like, Dana and Conor are butt buddies, man, whatever they're gonna call them.
But to give him a piece of the pie,
he will not give him a piece of the pie. Dana White will not. He won't even give out like the fucking private,
because it depends on what he wants,
records, right? of the UFC. What the hell makes him think he's gonna give a fighter equity? He's just not gonna do that.
Is Conor gonna be okay with getting percent of a percent?
Yeah, I don't think. No, he won't. If anything, I think this might be the particular point now in like the story with Conor McGregor and the UFC. I'm pretty sure we're going to get like there's going to be a chink in the armor, or like a wrench in the gears, if you will, of the whole like Conor McGregor and UFC like working together to make the sport like that much bigger. I feel like at some point Conor's literally going to be like, what the fuck, guys need to give me some money, and then Dana White's going to be like, no, it's not going to happen. I think we're beginning to see.
What was this sold for? 4.2?
4.2 billion, I think.
All right, let's just say 4.2. All right, so 4.2 billion, right? Let's divide that by 100, because let's say Conor wants 1% of the entire company. That's $42 million. That's worth $42 million.
They're not going to do that,
and I don't think he's going to be okay with getting
they're not in a position
quarter of a percent or
they're not. They're not. Well, maybe they will, but at the same time, they're in no position to be giving up that much money. Because even though Conor is making them this much money, it's not $4 billion. Like we said, when they bought the company for $4 billion, that's negative $4 billion that IMG needs to make back. And but they're not trying to give like a percentage of that away, because they need all the money they can get back, which is where all these super fights are coming from, all these interim fights are coming from, so they can keep selling these pay-per-view numbers.
Or if they do, they might say, "Hey, Conor, we'll give you a percent, but you have to fight for free for the rest of your contract."
That would,
yeah. That actually, like, the numbers might even out there.
Yeah,
right.
Conor probably won't do that.
He's not gonna do
like,
that.
Fuck you, like this and that. I mean, it's.
Not that he needs the money necessarily.
At this particular point, I mean, I don't know when, but at this particular point, that just wouldn't make fiscal sense for the UFC. It's essentially like...
No, but it could, because that way they don't have to pay out anything.
Remember back in the day...
They're just giving out equity.
Remember back in the day when what's his name? It wasn't Hoist. One of the Gracies, Henner Gracie, who was like supposedly one of the best MMA fighters in the world. Yeah, whatever you say, even though he didn't go against any top talent in my book. But he dubbed himself like one of the greatest of all time. He didn't want to keep fighting in the UFC because he was asking him for like $4 million per fight. And I was like, the UFC didn't have that kind of money back then. They did not have anywhere near that kind of money. And right now, it's kind of the same thing. Not to say that they don't have that kind of money, but what Conor's asking for is a little bit much. Because if that's the case, then you better sell the fuck out of the next fight, and you better make sure there's like at least 10 million extra people watching for every single fight you have. He needs to start making like not 2 million pay-per-view buys and 3 million pay-per-view buys, whatever it is. He needs to start doing 50 million pay-per-view buys. He needs to start literally not even quadrupling. I mean, what do you say? What's 10 times? What's
10 times?
What's the proper term for 10 times? When you're
timesing something by 10? I don't know.
Well, he needs to do that. He needs to literally multiply his numbers by 10 or by 20 so that they can actually do that. I don't think he can do that. I don't think anybody can do that right now, because I mean the numbers are definitely growing, but you're talking about numbers in like the 7 figures, not the 8 and not the 9 figures. They're not getting 200 million new subscribers monthly. So it's just it just doesn't make fiscal sense for them. It wouldn't make fiscal sense for them for like a while. I just think for now they're not going to give that up. They're definitely not going to give that up. And
They're not going to do it.
And once again, it's just putting not putting a wrench on the lightweight division, but just like they're wondering now, like, oh, well, who does he want to fight next? Someone at 155 or somebody at 170? Him and Nate are talking about fighting at fucking middleweight, 185, because Nate doesn't want to cut weight. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And if anything, if Conor beats Nate at 185, he could be like, hey, why can't I fight Robert Whittaker for the middleweight title? And then he'll want to be a triple division champion. And fuck you, but I don't think he deserves that shit.
Yeah.
For now, it's just, I mean, at lightweight right now, I think Poirier is the next best guy. Because, I mean, if Max Holloway wins that lightweight belt, he'll be a two-division champion. But it'll be putting a wrench and it'll be putting on hold on two divisions. One that has a whole bunch of talent, and featherweight where, I mean, just he can't be going back and forth so much. It's not good for Max Holloway's health. I feel like if Dustin, their best bet right now is for Dustin to win the interim title.
Well, his last fight, the last fight he had issues with was 155, and he got sick and went to the hospital and he couldn't fight.
Well,
although that was
like on 10 days notice.
That was a very short notice.
Yeah, it was very short notice. That was like on 10 days notice kind of thing. And but yeah, I mean, I saw this video a couple days ago of Dustin Poirier and who he's been beating. He beat Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, Anthony Pettis. Who else has he beaten? He's beaten a bunch of people at lightweight, and it seems like he's ready for that lightweight strap. And somebody called him up, and somebody called him this online, and I actually agree. I'm going to put up a post pretty soon about the last couple of people that Dustin Poirier has beat. Technically, right now, he's like the most violent man in that division. He beat Justin Gaethje, and he beat Eddie Alvarez. He's that violent weight champion right now. And right now that division has a champion that's away until November, he should probably... depending on how he fights Max Holloway, and not to mention he beat Max Holloway in Max Holloway's debut in the UFC. I'm sure. I know they're both different fighters since then, but that's what also makes this next fight really interesting. It's just the fact that he beat the featherweight champ before. Can he do it again? And it looks like he can match Max Holloway's volume percentage for striking and all that other stuff. I think it's going to be a really good fight when he goes against Max Holloway. And whoever gets that interim lightweight strap definitely deserves it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. So we'll have to see.
And we also got to see what happens with Barboza and Gaethje.
Barboza, Gaethje. I don't think either of them are in the title picture, really. Neither is Kevin Lee. Cerrone's just came back. But Ali Quinta is kind of a wild card there.
Well, Ali Quinta and Cerrone are fighting now.
No, I don't think that's official.
That's official now.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
Oh wait, official. I think I might have had that on the thing earlier as a.
Yeah. I think it became official. Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Yep.
Oh shit! Yeah, Saturday, May 5th. Okay.
Event,
well, I mean,
for Ottawa, yeah, for UFC.
It's
Ottawa.
so weird fight for Iquinta being so high up there and working his way up.
I mean, Cerrone's a big name.
Very dangerous, but it's a paycheck.
Name. Yeah, Cerrone would definitely be a big paycheck. Everyone will want to see that because everyone likes seeing Cerrone fight. So. And I mean, Iaquinta, he's making some noise in the realtor game or real estate game. Is he a realtor?
Yeah, real estate.
Is he a realtor?
I think
does he have
someone
his license?
Who sells real estate is a realtor.
My video's buffering. Oh no, it's back.
No, yeah, it's a little glitchy. We're gonna have to play with that. But yeah, so I don't know.
Paul Felder won his last
maybe
fight
Gregor
too.
Gillespie. That guy, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. Actually,
there.
But they got to figure out what to do with numbers 10 through 15.
Nate Diaz, fuck you, Nate Diaz. Fucking either shit or get off the pot. Like I don't know what is he doing. Why is he still ranked? He hasn't fought in years.
He wants to fight at 185. Also, he's like, I don't want to cut weight anymore. I want to fight at 185. And we're like, okay.
So do it. What are you waiting for? I don't know.
You said we're coming.
I just don't want to see his name on there if he's not fighting. It doesn't make sense.
Wow. They took him off for a bit, and then
Kevin
he came
Lee,
back and fought.
Kevin Lee just lost.
But Kevin Lee's going against somebody.
Does he? I think there's a potential fight. Like somebody was talking shit to him that they wanted to fight him. I think he was also talking about maybe going up to one. Oh, I think RDA said he wanted.
Yeah, no, they have that actually. Yeah,
is that actually a fight?
Kevin Lee's going against RDA, I think, in Ottawa too. Yeah, at welterweight.
Okay.
I believe that is happening.
I mean, Lee has talked about that for a while.
I mean, Here's the thing, and somebody mentioned that too, that
Lee
and RDA are like those kind of weird guys who, if there was a 165 division, they would definitely shine in that division, which makes sense. Oh no, they're the main event at, what is that? Fight Night 151?
Fight Night 151.
Where the fuck is that taking place?
That is in the Blue Cross
Give me a
Arena, and what the fucking hell is this? Say something.
Why don't we know where the arenas are anymore?
Rochester, New York.
Rochester, New York. Okay. There we go.
Hey, you want to go check that out, maybe?
We should try to check that out.
You might want to go check that out.
We might go see RDA versus Kevin Lee. Absolutely. Why not? Wait, May?
Aspen Lads, Jar Eubanks, Zach Cummings, Trevin. It's in May, yeah.
Well, we can check it out anyway. Why the fuck not? I would not mind checking that out. Ooh,
wow, why is his picture black? It seems like he's dead.
That's like, maybe he is.
Like a character in a video game that died.
Grant Dawson, you need some color in yourself on these rankings, I guess.
Or maybe he's just black and white. I don't know.
I was going to say, this is a good segue into the welterweight division. We'll see what's going on. What the fuck is going on in this goddamn division
Kamaru really fucked things up for Woodley there. Woodley's even talking about...
Jorge Masvidal and Anthony Pettis fucked up things for everybody in the
it's
division
a lot of
now.
weird, a lot of unexpected... I mean, Kamaru Usman was a beast, but no one thought he was going to dominate Woodley like that. But took the title. Is that 3 weeks in a row? Is that 3 welterweight headlines in a row?
That is, yeah. Actually, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So you have Usman win. Then you
had the fucking title changed
Masvidal won.
And now you got two guys coming up out of fucking nowhere. Jorge Masvidal shooting up 6 spots in the rankings, and now a fucking former lightweight champ.
Yeah, that was just also absurd.
Fucking up Wonderboy, knocking out a kickboxing champion for the first time in his career. Now it's just making noise. Ben Askren.
The only thing,
you know what's hilarious now? Who probably gets the short end of the stick, and it's unfortunate because it's his teammate, is Ben Askren, because he's still coming off of that weird win over Robbie Lawler, and that everyone thinks he should run back. This is only more fuel to the fire, and they're probably gonna make him and Robbie Lawler run that shit back now.
They might.
Or they might make him go against Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Maybe. I think they might. I mean, they might do Robbie Lawler.
Kobe Covington's definitely going against Kamaru.
Would have hit the fight for him, I think.
Kobe's definitely going against Kamaru.
Yeah,
even if
I think
he
Danny
didn't have the interim
that.
title, that's definitely a good. Grudge match between Kamaru and Kobe, the dickhead Covington, the biggest douche in the game right now. And they set that up,
yeah.
Have you seen Kamaru's? He had an MMA podcast with, not an MMA podcast, but he was at the MMA
he was on Joe Rogan
with Joe Rogan.
I didn't see that. No.
It was good. I didn't like it. I didn't mind it at all. The fucking Kamaru went in. He was talking about himself. Did you know his father was incarcerated 10 years ago because it was over some false shit though? Because apparently
was it an email scam?
No. He was running a limousine or ambulance company, and the people managing the company for Kamaru's dad were doing some shady shit. And essentially, Kamaru's dad got sent to jail because he was the one who owned the company, but he didn't know anything about it, and there was no evidence that he knew anything about it. But because he was the owner of said company, he's been like in blue collar prison for like the past 9 years.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fucked up, totally fucked up. And it was literally one of those cases where they just threw the book at him because he was like, "You can either he's."
Sure, that was a factor. Yeah.
Well, you can. They were essentially like, you can take 5 years and plead guilty. Or
he didn't.
And he was like, "Fuck that! I want to fight this thing. Like, I'm innocent. I know I'm innocent." But they just threw the book at him because the other guys, I'm sure, like threw him under the bus. And yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. It really shows you how the criminal justice system in this country is fucked. But yeah, it sucks for him. But he shed some light on the situation. He shed some light on what was happening in the criminal justice system just by being on Joe Rogan's podcast. So. Hopefully something comes from that. But yeah, Kamaru was talking about that. He was talking about how he used to wrestle all the time and how he was a Division II wrestler but used to fuck up Division I wrestlers all the time. Talk about how he's only been a getting good in his diet and getting a nutritionist for his past couple of fights, like past 2 or 3 fights. And he got fucking knee surgery and a double hernia, I think the day before or a couple of days before this fight with Tyron Woodley. So he was fighting Tyron Woodley with a bad knee and a fucking double hernia. And he still won that belt. That's goddamn ridiculous. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast with that one of those things that take fluid out of your system. He literally had a tube inside of him while he was on the podcast, and it was taking out fluid and shit. Like, yeah dude. fucking nuts. And he was doing all this while he won the welterweight strap.
Yeah, dude's a beast, man.
Fucking crazy, man. But I don't know. We got to see what happens soon. I think they might run.
He's going to be out for a little bit, but he's definitely going to fight Colby first.
He's fighting Colby in June. That's definitely happening.
Woodley.
I don't know what's happening with Woodley next.
What could happen to Woodley? Nobody wants to see Woodley Thompson 2-3. RDA is fighting Lee. Masvidal just won. Askren's not gonna fight him.
I think if Kevin Lee maybe beats RDA, or actually whoever wins RDA, Kevin Lee, maybe they go against Woodley. They always like putting a former champion up against a big prospect.
Or I could see him fighting Masvidal too, maybe.
They want to put Masvidal right now is like the talk of the town, so Conor kind of wants to fight him at 170.
Yeah, Woodley called out Conor. Woodley wants to fight Conor.
I mean, the fight everyone wants to see, especially after their altercation, is Leon Edwards go against Jorge Masvidal.
Man, I think anybody will fight Conor. Like they'll call it. Anybody will call Conor. They want that paycheck. It'll be a heavyweight and be like, yeah, fucking Conor was talking shit.
Anybody from 155 to apparently 185 now wants to fight fucking Conor.
Yeah. Leon Edwards put a smacking on Nelson, so he's jumped up.
Somebody no one's talking about is Eliza Dos Santos.
Well, he's creeping up slow. He's
creeping up very slowly.
Oh no, he was ranked at 14 before.
I think somebody in the top 5 or somebody in the top 10 is going to fight him soon. He might make some noise. Maybe they'll put him up against Santiago Ponzinibbio, even though Ponzinibbio says he wants to fight for that strap next. I don't know where he fits in all this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know where he fits now in all this. They might put him against because Ponzinibbio gets the wins too. His last win was by knockout in Buenos Aires, which made some noise. So they might put him up against either Jorge Masvidal or Showtime Pettis. Everybody has their plans down.
Yeah, Pettis this hasn't been updated obviously yet.
Yeah,
so we don't know where Pettis is going to be in this equation here.
They might put him right next to Ben Askren. I mean, right now you got 3 friends that will soon be in the top 10 at welterweight. Yeah, Rufus Sports is making noise in the fucking welterweight division, and I mean, they got to figure something out. They're not going to fight each other. They said that.
Yeah.
So they got to figure some shit out. I don't know. Looks like we're gonna see a couple more fights in the welterweight division before we see a definite welterweight contender outside of Kobe and Well, Kobe and Kamaru's going on in June, so it looks like they got some time before they need to come out with a top contender. So I mean, maybe put Ponzinibbio up, like I said, Ponzinibbio either up against the winner of DeSantos. The winner of DeSantos, Kevin Lee, should either go against Woodley or Ponzinibbio, I think. Jorge Masvidal, they might put up against Leon Edwards, because they need to put Leon Edwards a little bit higher. He is on a 7-fight winning streak. And, maybe they'll run back Ben Askren and Robbie Lawler.
He beat Cowboy in the main event in his previous fight, too.
There you go.
All right, let's look at 185. Although, I mean, we were kind of talking about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
There's already a bunch of matchups. Luke Rockhold, again, is someone that I just don't even want to see in the rankings because he just doesn't fight.
He's going up to light heavyweight.
He says that, but he doesn't have a fight.
He's fighting
right?
John Blachowicz.
Does he?
Yeah, he's going up against. He's going to have. I think they're working on him versus John Blachowicz at light heweightweight. So
I mean, well, we'll see.
We'll see what happens there.
Obviously, you got Souza versus Romero. You got Gastelum Adesanya. Weidman doesn't have anything yet.
Gastelum and Adesanya, yeah, that's going on in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For the interim strap. We'll see what happens. I mean, whoever wins that's going against Robert Whittaker.
Paulo Costa was going to fight Romero. But then Romero was saying some shit that he got popped for steroids. I don't think he did.
No, he did. I think it was fake news.
But I think
he is injured.
But Souza was going to fight somebody, and then that.
No. Romero was going to fight Paulo Costa.
Oh, and Souza was the one that took his.
Yeah, Souza took his spot, so they're going to do part 2 of that.
So that'd be interesting. Derek Brunson,
Jacare will finally get that.
Cannonier.
If Jacare beats Romero, he'll probably finally get that #1 contender spot, and he'll probably hold out to see whoever beats whoever the winner of Gastelum and Adesanya goes against Whittaker. Whoever wins that to be the undisputed champion. I feel like
Souza?
I feel like Souza could wait for that.
God. If Souza wins, yeah, but if Romero wins, you give him another title shot? I don't know. I don't think so.
They want Romero to win that fucking strap,
he's still the #1 fucking contender. Number 1 ranked.
The only person he's lost to is Whittaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, he looked better even in the second fight than he did in the first fight.
He did. He absolutely did. So it's kind of creepy.
But damn, the dude's like 42 years old or some shit. He's
we got to see what happens.
Although he fights
with
like he's
Jacare.
20 something.
There you go.
The rest of the division,
I mean, Jared
you could throw any of the body. You could throw any of them and against each other, really.
Jared Cannonier is going against Silva in Brazil at UFC 238.
Okay, and
238, right?
And Silva's hometown.
Yeah. When Rose and
All right, well, hold up. We're gonna talk about that in just a minute.
No, but I'm saying like who's going against her?
Josh.
Yeah, but that'll be in 2 months though. But I'm just saying like Silva's going against Cannonier. Cannonier?
Yeah, Cannonier.
He's going against him there, so we'll see how that goes.
All right. Let's talk about 205.
Yeah.
JJ Johnny Bones is still
untouchable.
The king over there.
Mr. Untouchable, aka the king of the light
Gustafsson, they got nothing for him. Cormier is still
look like a fool.
Heavyweight. Anthony Smith got.
I think right now they got Cormier worried about heavyweight, so they might knock him out of the light heavyweight rankings.
Dominic Reyes has a fight.
Does he?
No, he just fought.
He just won a decision.
But I thought they were talking
week.
About him fighting somebody else. I don't know.
Maybe.
He did have a fight. Maybe. He beat Ozdemir, but people thought that he lost that one.
Corey Anderson's a little bit upset that he's been getting overlooked at light heavyweight. Corey Anderson wants to fight for the belt, or he wants to fight a top guy for the belt.
Santos jumped up to number 3. That was very surprising. He's already number 3.
I mean, he's been knocking motherfuckers out. So yeah, that slobber knocker with Jimmy Manua.
I would say, why not give Corey Anderson Thiago Santos and they fight for number 1 contender?
That makes sense. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they've told Corey Anderson that in the past, and I think Corey Anderson wants a big fight.
Believe the shit but hey, you get number 3. You fight number 3, and you get a title shot if you win.
They got Gustafsson versus Anthony Smith coming up in Sweden.
Yeah.
With the summertime, so we'll see what happens there. Yeah, Dominic Reyes is up, but somebody that we keep forgetting about, he's
Johnny
at the bottom.
Walker?
Yeah, Johnny fucking Walker.
Yeah, we'll see once he fucking heals up. After
he should be a little bit higher, I think, in the rankings.
He should stop
especially with the knockouts.
Celebrating so hard, but
yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Johnny Walker next. Maybe they'll put Johnny Walker against Dominic Reyes to see.
Yeah, he's not ready. He's definitely not. I mean, I don't know. He's still so new, though.
There's always something about two young prospects going up against each other to see who goes against. I mean, yeah, they'll do that, but it's just he's been very explosive and very dominant against the
everybody's
opposition.
Talking about him. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate that. Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker.
Imagine Johnny Walker goes against Dominic Reyes, beats Dominic Reyes, and goes against John Jones, and then beats John Jones. That's a possibility.
That would be a crazy story.
That would be a crazy fucking story.
But yeah, honestly, I think Corey Anderson, Thiago Santos.
That should be it.
That'll be the next.
I think
the next big fight. I think.
Yep. Thiago Santos has been going against a lot of hard hitters, so I guess that makes sense. Ozdemir just lost, but yeah, I think the next one should be Thiago Santos versus Corey Anderson.
We got some interesting ones here. Women's is just fucking. I don't even know what.
But heavyweight. Yeah, man. What in the fuck, Stipe?
Who is it? I think Dana White is still pushing for Lesnar to fight.
Stipe, you need to get in there. You need to make some fucking noise.
I think Stipe needs to just take a fight already because nobody's gonna. Everyone's forgetting about you, bro. You gotta fight somebody.
Hey, I'm right there on Stipe's. I'm on Stipe's bandwagon. I believe that he should get a rematch with Cormier, but Cormier is going to come back and he wants to fight Brock Lesnar, and they're going to give him that fucking title shot because it's big numbers. It's big fucking pay-per-view numbers that they need, regardless of what Stipe and Dos Santos and all these people think. It's true what they say, that he shouldn't get that number 1 title shot, but I mean, the numbers don't lie. People want to see Brock Lesnar, they want to see Brock Lesnar go against the champion. I mean, that's Cormier's big payday, and if he gets that big payday, he might retire right after that. But right now, I'm thinking JDS versus Ngannou. That might be the next one. I don't think they'll do Stipe.
It makes sense.
Unless they do Stipe versus JDS 3.
Nah, it makes sense. Ngannou JDS, I think so.
Curtis Blades. Never fought either. Who would Curtis Blades go against? Unless they do Curtis Blades versus Stipe. But I don't think Stipe will get that.
I don't know. Volkov just lost to Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis just lost to JDS.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Alistair Overeem, I think just won. I think he beat a new guy. I think he beat.
He lost to Curtis Blades. Who did he beat?
Beat Ivanov or somebody?
He might have
something.
Maybe.
Like Ivanov, I think.
I forget who he went against. I think he did. If he didn't beat someone recently, then he just lost to Curtis Blades.
Sergey Pavlovich. There you go.
Pavlovich. Pavlovich.
That was in November.
That was in China.
So
Beijing.
I don't think he has another fight yet.
It doesn't seem like he has another fight coming up.
Oh,
he's expected to face. Oh yeah, Volkanovski, right?
Oh, Volkov. Yeah.
Volkov. There we go. He's going against Alexander Volkov at fucking fight night 149.
Right. Okay. And Kane just lost. Olenek is fighting.
Olenek.
Somebody that's unranked. I forget who it is.
Olenek is fighting someone unranked? Oh no, Tolvasa. Isn't he going against Tai Tolvasa?
No. He's fighting. Does it come up on here? Did they have it on here?
They should. He beat him. I think they might be if he's not going against
he's got a main event fight, I think.
Does he?
Yeah, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Olenek. Alexei Olenek.
Who's he going against? Walt Harris.
There you go. Oh, Walt Harris. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a heavyweight Phil Davis.
Unranked though.
Yeah, he's unranked. So but I mean, that's probably more so for Walt Harris to see what he can do with that. But
interesting fight.
Did you just get rid of the rankings?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought you did. I was like, you jerk. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you got Cormier who's waiting for Lesnar. You got probably Francis Ngannou versus Dos Santos to see who goes against whoever gets that number one spot. I think now maybe
Stipe needs to figure it out. He needs to jump in there.
To figure it out. Or Stipe needs to fight Kane. Or Stipe needs to fight Curtis Blades just so he can get his name out there. I think somewhere between.
Stay relevant.
I think Cain Velasquez takes the next big fight against either Curtis Blades or Stipe. And other than that, I mean, Big Pretty just got fucked up, so I don't think he's going against
the rest of these guys, they might, then you could kind of throw any of these guys against one another at the bottom here.
It's very difficult to make this matchmaking because a lot of these people have fought against each other. They have a lot of win-loss records against a lot of the people there. So
that's right, especially a lot of guys at the bottom. You don't string those fights together, you can get anybody, really.
There's no definite number one contender after these next couple of title fights, funny enough, because everyone's like, well, this person lost to this. And this person's winning, but this other person beat this person that's winning.
But I still feel bad for Stipe. He's the most, he's got the most. I say he's the most successful,
winningest.
I don't know. Yeah, but
he's got the most title defenses.
Yeah.
Most title defenses. Yeah.
He's got the most, most stripes.
3. 3. That's not including when he won the strap, but yeah.
And Stipe fights somebody.
You gotta fight somebody, man. Yeah, man.
Somebody.
You gotta do it, bro. You gotta, unfortunately.
I don't know, maybe JDS and Ngannou, the winner fights Stipe.
Yeah. That'd be good. That'd be all right. Even though,
It might be JDS versus Miocic 3.
I honestly think Stipe doesn't want to take the chance because he wants to fight for the
Stipe lost to JDS the first time, right?
He lost the first time by decision, but then he came back and fucking destroyed JDS in the rematch.
So, you have a rubber match or you have a rematch with Ngannou. Either way, I think that's a good fight.
That's the thing with the heavyweight division especially. There's just such a big chance for you to lose. Whenever you go against anybody in the top 10 or anybody in heavyweight for that matter, it's just a big gamble. It doesn't matter if you beat the person before. Stipe could literally lose to Ngannou if they fight again just by getting knocked the fuck out. But, I mean, for now, Cormier is holding out for Lesnar.
And that was a women's strawweight. I mean, that kind of speaks for itself. You got Rose Andrade. It's been kind of it's been pretty quiet in most of the women's divisions.
They got Michelle Watterson.
There haven't been a lot of fights, women's fights. There haven't been a lot of them.
No. I feel like there should be a lot more women fights. Yesterday, it was really...
Yesterday there were
3. There were 3, actually.
Okay.
Yesterday was the first time they had, 3 or more women fights. Usually they just stick to 2.
Yeah,
which is stupid. Why are you gonna do? You need more contenders. You need more people fighting more often. The more often you have people fighting, the better they get. The more they'll train. It's it just makes much more sense. I think we need more women's MMA, more women's fights going on in each event. Need to have at least 3 or even 4 fights per event, so they can come up with these number one spots. Because right now you got. Like I said, you got Andrade versus Namajunas for the strap, but then after that, Rose Namajunas already lost to Rose twice.
Joanna
gonna stay. I think she's gonna
stay at 125.
Nina Ansaroff and Tatiana Suarez, I think, are going against each other.
That's a good fight. Nobody really wants to fight Tatiana Suarez. People are kind of shook. They're kind of scared of her.
Ansaroff is definitely taking a big.
She's been coming up.
She's definitely taking a big big risk with it, but fuck, hey, with no risk.
Hey, I feel like the winner there gets the next title shot.
I think they're also talking
Carolina,
about
Michelle Watterson.
Yeah, whoever wins that might also get the title shot, depending on how they win, depending on who wins. Isn't that?
Yeah.
No one's talking about Wei Li Zhang. I like me Wei Li Zhang. I like her way of fighting.
That yellow fever kid.
I like.
All right.
No.
My man.
I'm a married man, sir.
Oh, sorry.
But no, Wei Li.
I'll whisper it.
It's a podcast. Wei Li Zhang is making some noise. I like the noise that she's been making. If they maybe put her up against Claudia Gadelha or Joanna Jędrzejczyk, if anything, that's a pretty big fight for her. We'll see how that happens. But I mean, having number one contenders is not a bad thing, because let's say you put somebody up against someone else. Like, let's say the winner of Tatiana Suarez and Nina Ansaroff goes against the next champion. Let's say somebody gets injured in the middle of fight camp. They have more top contenders. They'll just put somebody else in there. Let's say they're like, all right, if this person gets hurt, then the winner of Michelle Watterson and Karolina Kowalkiewicz will fight that person. It's never bad to have more than like new people at the number 1 and the number 2 spot, because then you have fucking decisions instead of getting the featherweight champion to fight for the interim lightweight strap against clearly a number 1 contender in Dustin Poirier. But I mean, if you had more number 1 contenders, wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I think they need to make some noise. And
it also depends on who wins, though, because like if Carolina beats Michelle Watterson, then it's kind of weird, because like, all right, Carolina has beat the last person, but she lost to Jessica Andrade, and she lost to Joanna, so it's always weird. It's always an odd thing. The fight game is an interesting and odd mystery.
Yeah. No, flyweights, you got Valentina. I think she's fighting, Jessica Ai. That's the next fight.
Jessica Ai is finally getting her title shot.
She's been waiting that for a long time. But honestly, Jessica Ai, like, I don't know, her fights haven't been, she doesn't win, like really decisively. She's not slaying people.
True, but I don't know, man.
She's just getting it done.
Anybody on any given day has a.
I don't think she's got the answer for Valentina.
I mean, people said the same thing about Holly Holmes and Ronda Rousey.
Nah,
Ronda Rousey got decision wins to go.
We already know Valentina's.
Absolutely, I agree. But I mean, Jessica Ai has the experience. Jessica Ai has fought a lot. She's at 125, which has always been her weight class, where she always feels great at. Maybe she just needed those first decision wins. You never know. That's all I'm saying.
I got my vote on the bullet. All right, she's gonna come fully loaded and just spray all over her.
Goodness, squirt her, if you will. But Jessica Ai definitely is glad she got that title strap.
That one.
We gave her a quick shout out to Jessica Ai. We gave her a quick shout out for getting her title strap, and she gave us a like on our social media. So thanks for that, Evil Eye. But yeah, once again, another It's all over the place. Jessica Rose Clark, unfortunately,
not a lot of you got JoJo doing her thing.
Yeah.
Angela Lee's got a fight coming up. She's back. Paige, I think, is taking a break again.
Yeah. Montana De La Rosa is making some noise, and Jessica Rose Clark are also making some noise, but they're ranked really low.
Oh, you know what's really weird?
Got to see what happens there. What's up?
That was super weird.
What's up?
Yeah, you got Valentina's sister there, just real quiet at number 15.
Interesting.
Real quiet there at number 15. What happens if she happens to hop, skip, and jump over a few of these fighters and get a title shot?
I think other Shevchenko. The other Shevchenko sister. The other Shevchenko sister.
Shevchenko too?
I guess we can call her Shevchenko too. She might fight, I think, either Jessica Rose or Montana De La Rosa. We'll see what happens there. I think. Oh, wait. Who's Roxanne Modafferi going against?
What's her name? Is not ranked yet.
Who's that?
Marcy Barber.
That's true.
That's a crime.
They got to change this up tomorrow.
She's still pretty young. She's pretty new.
They're changing this up tomorrow, so I'm sure they're going to put her up there. But wait, who's Roxanne going against?
I don't know. Sajara, maybe? I know she had something lined up.
You're right. Yeah. I think, Eubanks.
Oh, no, they just fought Sajara. She fought Sajara at that New York.
Right.
Oh, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure who she's fighting with.
Cool. Who is she going against? Yeah.
Modafferi. I like her. She's funny, but Antonina.
Oh, all right. There we go. She's going against the other Shevchenko. I was wondering or something like that. I think they're really trying to push.
That's a big fight for her.
I think they're they're trying to push for Shevchenko to go up in the rankings. Shevchenko 2.
Yeah, that'd be. It's gonna be a little weird, a little awkward at the dinner table, but you know. All right, let's look at bantamweight. Amanda Nunes, GDR is back in rankings, number 1. You got a Holly Holm, Caitlin Vera, Raquel Pennington, Kazagana. Things getting weird there. Kat got her fucking eye ripped out.
Aren't they trying to get Holly Holm versus? I think Holly Holm wants to get a new contract before she fights Nunes at featherweight for the featherweight strap.
Aspen Ladd's up there. She's fighting though. She's fighting at that UFC card we were talking about in Rochester.
Yeah, right. That should be a good.
Who's she fighting now?
Yana Kuniskaya. I mean, she won her last fight against Marlon Renault, but she got fucked up though.
Wow, that's really annoying. Okay. What? Look at that healthy mustache there on RD.
Wish I had that mustache. Yeah. That's the kind of mustache I want.
Oh my God! Please don't.
Don Quixote mustache, if you will.
Aspen Lash Jar Eubanks. There you go.
Jar Eubanks. Okay. There you go.
So, but that's a 135. Right. She's playing. I'm doing 125. Right. Sorry about that. She went down a weight. Right. Yeah, it's really quiet, man. Really quiet in this division.
Yeah, I mean, fucking
really quiet. Raquel hasn't been fighting. Caitlin Vera, I think, had lost to Kat Zingano. I think she might have won her last fight.
Yeah, against
Holly
Kat
Holm
Zingano. I think Holly Holm is who they're looking for right now.
GDR won her last fight, I think.
Something's going on, and I think just
there's a lot
of win losses, I guess, going on with the UFC because the rankings are so all over the place.
You seeing something out here?
No,
I don't know if it was
featherweight
there before.
division. It was there before, but there were only like 5 people.
Yeah.
No featherweight division.
No featherweight division.
That's so weird. I know they just signed a bunch of new featherweights. They signed like a bunch of new featherweights not too long ago. Yeah, remember what we're talking about?
Well, there was on the UFC.
The Invicta featherweight champ. She got signed.
Featherweights.
Yeah, but remember the lady who won the chick who won the featherweight. She went down to bantamweight. That tall chick. I forget her name. God damn it! I hate that I'm forgetting her name. I couldn't pronounce her name because.
But you got Megan Anderson.
Megan Anderson.
Hanging out.
I'm waiting on Megan Anderson.
I feel bad for her. She cannot. I don't think she can make 135. So
yeah, no, she can't. She has to stay at 145. They're trying to slowly build that division, which is all well and good. They're trying to slowly build that division.
She just got to cut her toenails, you know.
What? Oh, goodness, terrible. No, that was bad. Poor Kat Zingano.
Yeah.
But yeah. Shit is all over the place right now with all the divisions because you got a lot of win-loss records, a lot of people fighting like in between the rankings, that just going up in weight, going down in weight. So it's kind of all over the place for UFC. I do not envy Sean Shelby at all because this matchmaking segment we had just lasted like 40 minutes.
Let's move on before we're here all day because we're gonna be previewing next week real quick.
Yeah.
Next week we've got
Philadelphia.
The Bridge Donor. Oh, no. Sorry. ESPN on ESPN2. Wells Fargo Center. That is Philadelphia?
Yeah. This is the second card on major ESPN.
Yes, ESPN.
Original, I guess we'll call it. And
you got Edson Barboza, Justin Gaethje headlining. That's exciting. That's going to be mileage.
That could have possible title contentions or number 1 contender contentions going on. I'm really trying to see who wins between.
Oh, that's with Carolina
Michelle Watterson. They just did this E60.
Get out your Jergens, fellas. What? You got David Branch fighting.
I was like, "What's Jergens? I don't use lotion like that much." So.
It's a joke.
I get it.
David Branch, Jack Hermanson. Yes, that is the joke. Jack Hermanson. I'm not familiar with Jack Hermanson. Unranked. Definitely.
Middleweight. Yeah. I think he might be like number 14 or like.
No, unranked.
Yeah, he's probably unranked. David Branch, I think, is like number 11 or number 9 right now. But David Branch has a big win-loss record. So.
I want to say this guy, is he new to the UFC? Because I really don't. I mean, actually, that does sound kind of familiar. Jack Hermanson. Yeah, he's had a bunch of fights at the UFC. I don't even recognize his name though. Because he hasn't beaten anybody. He lost to Thiago Santos. Although he beat Taylor Lates. Okay. That's a big one. Because the only names he beat was Cesar Mutanche.
He didn't. He lost.
But he lost.
He lost to him.
And he fought Thiago Santos and he lost. But now he's got 2 fights in a row. He finished. Actually, the other fights that he did when he finished too. It's nice.
Hmm.
So yeah, I guess he's getting a little call up to the to the rankings.
It seems like a top prospect kind of card to see who's like going up in the rankings.
David Branch is a vet. He's been around a little while. He might be on his way out, kind of.
Yeah.
Though he's still got a little fight. He's still,
Let's see what happens in the co-main.
Josh Emmett, Michael Johnson, the Menace. Okay.
The Menace going against Josh Emmett at featherweight. We're seeing what kind of noise.
That could be okay.
Johnson won his last fight. We'll see what kind of noise he could just keep making at featherweight. Maybe he can make noise in the featherweight rankings and possibly get a number one contender spot. Or maybe they'll figure out if he goes against Zabit or Yair or somebody in featherweight, that's a possible title contender. We'll see what happens there. Once again, because their champion is fighting for the lightweight strap, I'm sure they're like, I don't know what we're doing next. So, poor Sean Shelby.
Interesting voice you got there. Is that Sean Shelby?
Poor Sean. No, I'm saying
Sean Shelby impression.
No, that's just my dumb. I don't know what I'm doing.
You could write to Eric at 3quarterguard.com, or we'll get a PO box for that too, in case you want to send him some anthrax or something. Light heavyweight.
I don't want a PO box now.
He's got Kennedy Nechukwu. That sounds with him. I feel like I've seen him fight before. Pretty sure.
Well, he's 6-0.
Yeah, I've seen him fight. Paul Craig. I've heard.
Paul Craig hasn't fought in a while, I think. Last time he fought, I think, might have been Oh no, he lost after Scotland, or he won recently. He won recently, actually, I think, but I forget who he went up against.
Oh, Paul Craig. Yeah. No, that's not. No.
MMA.
No. No.
Some random
all right. He just lost. Yeah, he's got
Jim Crew.
One out of his last 4. Ouch.
Yeah, that's not a good record. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No. So
newcomer.
Nechukwu is new. He's new, fresh meat. Welcoming him to the UFC.
Homie, he doesn't even have a Wikipedia.
Nah.
Gotta go.
He was on the Contender Series. That's what it was.
You gotta go on SureDog to find his talent.
Yeah. Okay. So that could be interesting. So Dick Yusuf, he just won recently, didn't he?
He was the guy who.
There was something happened.
His brother died. His brother passed away a couple of days before his fight, and he literally
that was a big story. Yeah,
anyway.
Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, he made some noise though. Yeah, he was on the.
Fought the Armenian
what card
dude.
was that?
UFC Fight Night Dos Santos.
Dos Santos versus Tovasa. That was in December. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess they're gonna see who.
Shaman Moraes. Yeah.
Some more noise in the featherweight division.
He's been kind of a little up and down. He lost his beat. Yeah. And he lost to his brother. Not his brother. I'm just fucking around. But Marlon Moraes before and.
World Series of Fighting, it seems.
Wusov. Which is not PFL. I heard they're going through some legal issues.
Oh no! What happened?
Yeah. Something like that.
They just gave like $7-8 million away to like 8 different people.
Yeah, I heard something about somebody's getting sued. I forget exactly what it was.
Oh no!
But yeah, we'll see. All right. Quick. Back to this prelims, I guess.
Prelims. Marino Rodriguez versus Jessica Aguilar.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
We'll see what happens there.
Ross Pearson's still.
Desmond Green might make some noise in the lightweight division if he beats Ross Pearson, a vet in Ross Pearson.
He's kind of a gatekeeper now.
Yeah, a little bit. Enrique Barzola was thought to be a number 1 featherweight prospect coming out of Peru, and he won the Ultimate Fighter. And I guess they got him going against Kevin Aguilar. We'll see.
Who's also a dead character in the video game.
He's also a hidden character that hasn't been unlocked.
He hasn't been unlocked.
He hasn't been unlocked yet. Yeah. That's cool. Kevin Holland or something.
Ray Borg's fighting. Yeah.
Ray Borg's finally fighting. All right.
Good for you, Ray Borg.
But he's fighting at bantamweight. He's not even fighting at flyweight.
I mean, he's saw the writing on the wall. He's probably already getting a head start.
Yeah, I guess it seems that way.
It was really nice. He wrote a tweet recently because everybody's been asking him about Brendan Schaub, because Brendan Schaub had supposedly been helping him out with his bills and things like that. And
that's awesome.
He wrote a tweet out saying that he's helped his family tremendously, and he couldn't thank him enough. So shout outs to
good guy Schaub.
Ray Borg and his healthy family, and
Word.
No, and Brendan Schaub for being a.
It's a class act.
Being a class act, yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's going on next week. So
and one more ONE FC, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say that real quick before we go to before we let you guys go. There is a card going on next. Well, technically it's Sunday during the day over there. I think it's Sunday in the day over there on May 31st.
Is this one New Era?
But technically for us, it's going to be going on. The prelims start at 1:30 and the main card starts at 4:30 a.m. on Sunday. So it's up to you guys if you want to see it. I'm definitely going to wake up early to watch this. It's free.
Oh no, it's gonna be no.
The One Championship.
It's
app.
in the afternoon.
No.
Yeah, look, 12 hours.
12
so
hours.
12 hours would be. Oh no, you're right. It'd be. I was thinking 24 hours.
It's gonna be
you're
in the morning,
right.
unfortunately. Yeah, it's gonna be in the morning because it's during the day in Tokyo.
So it'd be 3 in the morning. Yeah,
but it'll be like 3 in the morning over there. But this is the card where Eddie Alvarez and Demetrius Johnson will be making their One Championship debuts. They're both involved
we gotta
in
stretch this so we can actually see the faces.
They're both taking place in their respective weight classes. Are having tournaments over there. They'll be handling their first round bouts over there. Eddie Alvarez will be in action against
Timothy
Nasty Yukin.
He's nasty.
I guess he's nasty. Yeah.
Nasty Yukin.
So Eddie Alvarez doing his debut then. Demetrius Johnson. Yeah, I don't know anybody in the prelims, so don't even ask me about that. I'm sorry about that, guys, but
I do know the top players Yu Wakamatsu.
Yu
Flyweight Gold Grand Prix quarterfinal.
Yep. Makamatsu.
Also, they're both in a quarterfinal of the Grand Prix.
Technically it's the first round. So
okay, so there's only 4 fights.
There's only 4 8 fights. This is like 16 8.
Quarter.
It's like a double.
It's 8 people, 4 fights.
Yeah, it's like a double ranking kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, Demetrius Johnson also going to be in his respective weight class flyweights Grand Prix over there. He'll be fighting against Yu.
Oh, you got Bibiano Fernandez too.
Bibiano Fernandez.
That's actually for the belt.
Probably the best bantamweight outside of the UFC. He was on like a 6-year winning streak from 2012 on to 2018, and lost to Kevin Bellinong. Lost to Kevin Bellinong by split decision last September or last December, and they're going to be having a rematch for the bantamweight title. That's going to be a big one. Believe me, Bibiano was a very, very dominant champion in the bantamweight division over there. He should definitely be making some noise, and he's been recently training with Demetrius Johnson, so definitely catch that one. An Lan Seng.
Hey, save some ears for the rest of us, right?
Damn, An Lan Seng. Jesus Christ. He is a double champ over there in One Championship. He's a middleweight. He's got the middleweight strap and the light heavyweight strap. He's going against Ken Hasegawa. They had, outside of the UFC, the fight of the year last year. It was like a fucking 4 rounds? I think it was either 4 or 5 rounds. Just fucking slobber knocker. Just middleweights just throwing haymakers and fucking each other up. But Nsang came out with that one with a KO victory. Knocked Ken the fuck clean out. But since it was such a great fight the first time, the fans want to see it again. So that is going to be the second strap that's going to be on the line at middleweight. Maybe we'll see a fight of the year candidate, or maybe we'll see. They have cool
belts. I like their belts.
Yeah, their belt is fucking awesome. But Nsang, who is the they call
him in the membrane,
the Burmese python, I believe they call him. He's
that's it, really?
Yeah, Myanmar. He's like the biggest.
Really
he's like the biggest fighter out of Myanmar over there, right? He's like one of the most famous people out of Myanmar over there. So that's definitely going to be another big one.
Is Aung Insang Lansang?
On Lansang.
Right?
On La Insang.
Aung Insane. That could be his nickname. Insane Lansang.
Well, they call him the Burmese python.
Yeah.
That's cooler.
Really.
Stupid thing.
Okay.
Then you also got the young phenom and Angela Lee, who is their
little cutie pie.
They're atomweight champion, but over there they don't have like weight classes like that. So technically, she's their strawweight champion at 115. She's going to be going for double champ status as she's fighting Shang Nang.
That's a woman?
Damn.
Jing
Nang. Who is their... Oh, Jesus.
It's like an adolescent male. I'm sorry.
Who is their flyweight champion over there at 125. So Angela Lee is going to be going up to flyweight and seeing if she could be the first women's double champ. Yeah, she's a young phenom. She's been making a lot of noise over there, obviously. Very young and attractive, I think at 22 or 21 years old. And she's going to be going for double champ status. She's been very fucking exciting. She's been
My DMs are open.
She's been fighting.
I'm just kidding.
She's been fighting people, beating people with submissions and having very exciting fights over there. So, yeah, we'll see if she can get that double champ status.
So we got a legend on the card.
Holy shit. Shinya Aoki, who's a legend in his own right over there in
forever.
Japan. Probably the only guy in the lightweight division who hasn't fought in the UFC, but it's been very well known. He's going to be trying to get his lightweight strap back from Edward Folayang from the Philippines.
Foliage?
Yeah, we'll call him that. Foliage. Okay. But yeah, he'll be trying to get his lightweight strap back at this pay-per-view card, not pay-per-view card, but one of their big cards going on next week And yeah, if you're gonna be awake at around 4 o'clock in the morning, definitely watch it. I think they're gonna be showing a rerun for it on TNT at midnight on TNT on Sunday. So if you don't want to wake up in the morning, you could always catch the rerun on TNT if you got it. But yeah, this is going to be One Championship's biggest freaking card. You got 2 former UFC fighters and UFC champs fighting for the first time, and 4 fucking championship title fights. Is it
going to be on DAZN?
No.
Because they signed up with DAZN, didn't they?
No. I don't think so.
I thought
No. Bellator did. Bellator
Did
signed
they?
with DAZN. But yeah, right now, yeah, it's going to be their biggest thing. If you want to catch it in the morning, you could catch it.
Oh, ESPN.
Yes. Yeah?
I think so.
Who?
Didn't they? Somebody else signed with ESPN. I think it was one of C. Oh, was it PFL? I think it was one of C.
PFL signed with ESPN.
You sure?
Yeah, because one has they do have
because they had their own app, and I remember saying something about them not. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
No, I think they're streaming on TNT, so they signed a deal with Ted Turner.
Yeah, someone TNT.
So they're going to be with
you're
TBS.
right. I'm wrong.
Yeah, they're going to be signing
PFL.
that. It's PFL.
I don't know why I thought they were. There was some. I remember saying something about them getting rid of the app because they're streaming on their app, and then we were like, oh, they're not going to be doing that. Cause
No. They are going to be streaming it for this one, thankfully.
Okay.
So yeah, if you guys want to catch the fights for free and live, 4:30, 3:30 in the morning is when the main events come on the One Championship app. The app is free to download. One Championship app. And yeah, it's going to be their biggest friggin' fight card. Probably the biggest, most exciting mixed martial arts card to happen in Asia, like ever. So give it a watch. We're going to be talking about it next week. I'm going to be watching it live.
Yeah,
even though I'm
OneFC.com.
tired of shit. One championship.
OneFC.com.
You're going to be hearing us talking about it this week. I'll definitely be talking about it. If you want to hashtag it up, it's like We Are One. Hashtag a new era. And yeah. Should be a big fucking deal, especially if, should be big names fighting on a card, 4 championships, 4 of their probably biggest stars in their freaking, 4 of the bigger champions in there going on. Yeah, it's a very, very stacked card. So if you're going to be watching nothing at 4 in the morning on Sunday, watch this card. We're going to be talking about it. And yeah, let's wrap this up. We've been talking for way too long.
Yeah, we've been chewing your off for 2 hours. So
2 hours now.
Let's,
very long segments we've been doing this time.
Bid you guys adieu. Thank you for joining us. If you got any feedback on the new format or anything else,
one of you 3 viewers viewing right now, if you want to let us know a thing or two. Oh yeah, also one quick thing. We're thinking about putting our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify as soon as next week. So it'll start. You can start streaming us on the weekly if you'd like, and listening to us on your way to work. If you want to put us on your radio or on your
or if you want to have us soothe you to sleep and throw in some earbuds while you're going nighty night.
Not with this voice, but maybe. But yeah, we'll be talking about these fights and UFC Philadelphia next week. And until then, we'll catch you guys again. For your boys at 3/4 guard, stay classy, tip your waitresses, and 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Zippity doo. Damn, I wish I would go back to you, but it didn't. All right, shake things up, division. What was it?
Make some noise.
Make some noise, division.
Dick.